At Northern State University, your future starts with an affordable education that's personalized for you. Experience hands-on learning guided by world-class supportive faculty. You'll also enjoy a full campus life with opportunities to choose from numerous student activities and events, all in a safe, welcoming community. At Northern, you'll find a college that's right for you, a place to belong. Your future starts here. Unleash your potential at Northern.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
All right, Watchdog Nation, welcome to Hartford, South Dakota, Jim Utek Field for this 11A matchup between the visiting Beresford Watchdogs and the home West Central Trojans. We got the A-team here tonight, Heath. We've got Renee James on production along with our rest of our A-team crew. So we've got Gavin Stewart, Easton Boom, and Hunter Penn. We helping on the camera and production throughout the night. But, Heath, welcome to Hartford.
Yeah, second time. Been here already this season. Of course, got to watch a little bit of the West Central Trojans earlier this season. It was a good first half, you could say, 6-0. Vermilion fans at that time would have said, all right, okay, we're hanging around. This seems good. We had a lot of problems in that first half. Well, the thing was, in the second half, they didn't fix the issues at halftime, and it blew up to 33-0. All of a sudden, by the end of the third quarter, we're going, all right, it's getting a little cold out here. How soon can we get on out of here? And, yeah, it went from bad to worse. A great West Central Trojans team. Excited, though, for this semifinal matchup. I mean, this is what these boys dream of. It's what both coaches, Hernandez and Ebert, have been talking about, is getting to this moment. It's something special here at the Class 11A level, and now all that remains is trying to find the W tonight and go and playing warm in the Dome next week.
Yeah, it's been quite the ride. You kind of look back to last season. We've talked about that already previously, and now the expectations were obviously high this season, and the kids have kind of lived up to all those expectations, and now they have an opportunity in front of them to do something that the Watchdogs haven't done in 35 years, and that's punch a ticket to the Dakota Dome.
What just an excitement story this has been. I mean, I think the odds were already against the Beresford Watchdogs going into this season of just making that jump up to a Class 11A. You expected them to be good, but how good were they going to be? One thing that really goes against the Watchdogs, not just tonight, but all season long, was 35 guys on their team. You know, when you look at Del Rapids, you look at even a West Central tonight, you see a squad of 60+. That's what you kind of expect in Class 11A is those high numbers. So how do you rotate guys in and out? How do you keep guys fresh? That will certainly be a talking point coming up later on tonight because West Central doesn't play a lot of guys two-way. It's basically one or two guys that will play one or two ways. So that will be something interesting, but just enjoying the ride as it's come along. The Watchdogs as well, a team that says, hey, we're going to run it down your throat now, stop us. And it seems like that's such a simple task on paper, but it's been anything but for the opponents that the Watchdogs have gone up against. And then you can also draw on a common opponent that we both, Watchdogs and the Trojans, saw earlier this season, is with Winter. I think Watchdogs will tell you that, you know, a mistake here, a mistake there, those don't happen. It's a much different game. Whereas West Central, they were feeling very confident at the time. Number 1 in Class 11A against number 1 in Class 11B. This is kind of like almost a championship game. And all of a sudden, here came the Winter Warriors beating down the Trojans in that second half. So you kind of wonder how much can you draw back from that experience, those two games earlier this season, and how much does that translate over to tonight?
we'll hop right back into that potential matchup or those matchups here and kind of that prelude to the game. You gave us a little bit of what you anticipated a week ago, knowing a little something about West Central and having been here in the regular season. The Watchdogs had not seen them. We only have a few common opponents, but let's just look across, what's left in 11A right now. We all kind of thought, what might happen with that Sioux Falls Christian and Dakota Valley matchup last week. And Christian kind of came out and really dominated that game, at least what the score showed.
Yeah, it was a really interesting game, even for Dakota Valley, you could say. It felt like Dakota Valley was going to be that team this year that had a lot of talent from their basketball team. They had a lot of playmakers on the outside that could make something happen. And even Ethan Anima, who came back as a junior now to a senior this year as quarterback, you knew he had a really talented arm, and they had just gotten better throughout this season. And you thought, what, Sioux Falls Christian feels like they're down this year. They're not the kind of the usual Chargers that we've seen in the past, but Sioux Falls Christian was able to get it going extremely early in that game and never looked back, able to shut down the playmakers of Dakota Valley. So a good victory there for Sioux Falls Christian. And they're that team that, again, you talk about classy 11A when it comes to tradition. They've really built something over the past 10 years, same as Del Rapids. I expect that one to be an extremely close game. I don't think that one ever gets better than 10 points either way for either team coming up. It should be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, we'll kind of keep an eye on the scores being posted here throughout the night. Sioux Falls Christian, the 4 seed coming in. So, again, a lot of chalk here on 11A, exactly kind of landing how we thought it maybe would based on seed points. But they will be at Del Rapids tonight, 7 o'clock kickoff as well. So we'll kind of be tracking that game as we go. Heath, let's just do a quick look in at 11B because, again, a lot of our fans have interest in that. We've got some neighbors playing. But you called Hot Springs last week. You said it before we even kicked off. Jared, don't sleep on Hot Springs. They've got a defense, and they're going to be traveling across the state to play the Elk Point Jefferson Huskies tonight.
Yeah, that was going to be a real interesting matchup, was how well these two defenses could match up in that football game. And just talking to Coach Kramer, Coach Terry of Elk Point Jefferson, they both paid a lot of respects to the defense, who could really get going in the offense. They actually run very, very similar offenses with their options they like to go with. And these coaches, Coach Kramer and Coach Terry, actually have a relationship kind of outside of football, or I should say even with inside football. But when it comes to summer, they do a lot of the same camps. They run into each other. It was going to be an exciting game as of right now. It has not lived up to the billing of an exciting game. Currently about halfway through the second quarter. It's already 28-0. EPJ is just blowing that one open. So we'll see if that Hot Springs team can't get into it. Team that averages just over 33 points of scoring offensive. So they really need to step up their defense and find a lot of offense. We'll see if that one doesn't change a little bit. On the opposite side, 14-0 right now. The Winter Warriors over McCook Central Montrose. Everyone kind of said Winter was going to be playing in the Dome. The question was, who is it going to be? A lot of people tabbed EPJ to be that team. As of right now, it looks like 11B is just kind of sticking to plan.
Yeah, we were down in Elk Point Jefferson on Tuesday night for the first round of region volleyball. Had an opportunity to visit with their activities director, Justin Clerks, and principal Skylar Erickson. And, I just asked, I go, how long has it been since you've been to the Dakota Dome? And Justin just looked at me, never.
Yeah.
He said, if we can pull this off on Friday night, it will be their first ticket just up the road to the Dakota Dome. So.
And it was really exciting last night for an EPJ fan to see what the volleyball team did, getting a 3-0 sweep over the Canton Seahawks, which kind of shocked everyone. Canton number 3 in volleyball, and just, completely got dominated by EPJ last night.
Yeah, we kind of talked as we did that Vermilion volleyball game that within Region 4A, there was going to be a decent volleyball team that's going to get left out of that round of 16.
Yep, and it happened to be the Canton Seahawks. And best of luck to Elk Point Jefferson. I know they have a long journey up to Stanley County coming up next Tuesday, but should be exciting to see what happens for the Huskies.
Yeah, no, great. So let's circle back here to 11A, the matchup tonight, the West Central Trojans, the Beresford Watchdogs. Again, we referenced the Watchdogs have not been to the Dakota Dome since 1987. That was 35 years ago. And then West Central, the history that they have. Talk us through just a little bit of that. What's that maybe look like? Again, the history recently or in the last 20 years, 25 years of West Central, and then the Watchdogs, who many of these kids obviously weren't even alive when we were last in the Dome.
Yeah, so when you take a look back to what West Central has done, it kind of goes back to the whole entire winter adage of how do you constantly get guys out for football? How do you always have a good team? Well, what makes that so special? Well, West Central has built a tradition dating back to the 1980s, going through the 1990s of when they were trading blows with Vermilion at one point during the 1990s of it was either Vermilion or West Central that was winning a state title. They have just continued to build on that year after year, and this was kind of what would you expect when you had a great head coach here at the helm leave last year to go coach Sioux Falls Jefferson, having a phenomenal year. Coach Hernandez comes from California. He completely said, you know what, we've loved the, pull everyone in tight, pound the rock. We're going to change things up. We're going to spread things out. We're going to see how that works differently. We're not going to change the complete culture of what West Central is, but we're just going to make things look a little different. Well, they didn't necessarily backfire last year, but there was a lot of growing pains that went throughout. These guys had to get used to that new coach, a new system to run, and this year they came into it nicely, which is also crazy to say that it almost didn't happen, or at least didn't happen the way a lot of people expect. Justin Zerpel is going to be their quarterback tonight. You hear a lot about him. But Justin Zerpel almost didn't play this season after it was the beginning of fall camp that he picked up a supposed broken wrist. He was going to be out for probably this season, wasn't going to come back in time. And that was it. He missed 2 weeks of practice, and all of a sudden he went to the doctor and said, you know what, I'm going to get a second opinion because I feel like my wrist is fine. Went in, they got evaluated and said, no, it's not broken. You're just going through a lot of pain, but if you can tolerate it right now, you're good to play all season long. Of course, he's played all season long. He has rushed for almost 1,000 yards so far this season, over 1,700. He's a guy that 2 years ago was a running back. He switched to that quarterback position last year. And, of course, now just being a senior veteran, he knows how to handle it. Beresford on the opposite hand, this is, as you mentioned, a chance to make history, bring what hasn't been done, as you mentioned, not just for these boys, but even for families. In Beresford, this is something that a lot of people have never seen before. You can even look at the coaching staff as well, never seen before. Really exciting, the excitement that Beresford has going.
Yeah, Heath, I'll date myself a little bit. I went to high school in the early to mid-'90s. I was in college in the mid to late '90s. I started my teaching and coaching career in the early 2000s. So as I rattle through this string, West Central titles, 1993, 1994, made the Dome but lost to Douglas. They won titles in 96, 97, 98, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, and then 2007. That's 11 titles in 15 years.
Wow.
I look at that, and again, my just when you say West Central, I think football dominance.
Yep.
I guess my question to you is this. Most of the kids on the field were born in that 05, 06, era. They don't even maybe understand that. Do they come into this with a little cleaner mind that history isn't there over their shoulder?
Absolutely. I mean, yes, you want to pay homage. You want to pay that respect to history. There's a reason why it's called history. It's always going to be there. But something I feel like you could say about this Watchdogs team this year is they have created their own path. They have become their own team. You hear it so often from the coaches that as sophomores, they want to change a narrative. The coaches have said, we've never seen this type of change in boys before, from sophomore to where they are as seniors right now, of wanting to change of what was happening at Beresford. And just when we talk about tradition of winning, there's a tradition of losing. Once you are always losing, you seem to never gain ground. You start to lose, even hope to even play football. You go out there and just you have that kind of attitude like, well, hopefully we win tonight. This culture has completely changed at Beresford. Yes, you love the history, but you're not necessarily focused on that because you're making history yourself.
Yeah, this squad, last year in 11B made a deep run into the playoffs. I don't want to say they're seasoned, but they're certainly not coming into this thing raw. They know what they're up against and what this means.
Yeah, this is just another notch on the belt, if you will. Yes, it's semifinal action. Yes, there's been a lot of excitement within the town. I know, of course, you live in town. I've been around Beresford for the past few weeks. Everyone's talking about the football team. And you do have to relish in the moment. And it probably hasn't sunk in yet, this exact moment of where these guys are at. You'll probably get that feeling during the national anthem or right before kickoff that you're into something very, very special, something very, very unique. But you just got to continue to enjoy that moment and look forward to a great game tonight against an amazing West Central team.
You've kind of hit a little bit. Let's talk maybe what the fans can expect from this West Central when they're on offense. You've referenced the quarterback, Zerpel. He's going to most likely be in the gun. He is not going to be under center, and he is going to be one of their primary runners, but he has the ability to scramble and throw the ball as well.
He does, and that's what makes him so special. I was actually talking to Arlen Lickness as we came up here. We both arrived at the same time, just kind of reminiscing, and I asked him the question. I was like, have you seen anybody like Justin yet so far this season? He said, honestly, no. I have to reference back to Hamlin as assistant coach the past few years to even kind of get a picture of what Justin is able to do. He's, I don't even know how to describe him. He's a lot like, a college football team that just has that dynamic quarterback that just moves around, and that's what Zerpel does so well, is he creates something out of nothing. When a play breaks down, you look at the pile and go, all right, there's the sack. Next thing you know, Zerpel's out of everybody, and he's running 20 yards downfield. He's able to keep his eyes downfield when he's looking to pass, and then he has the huge targets as well. You talk about the tight end, Owen Heath. You talk about his wide receiver, Deuce. Just big targets that he's able to throw it up to. Doesn't have to be necessarily accurate, just has to get it in the area, and his wide receivers and tight ends can do the rest. So, and then you have Aiden Bartman, a sophomore that is growing in of his own. They don't have it. I wouldn't say they've used him to his fullest capabilities yet this season, but he's certainly a guy that if you don't pay enough respect to, next thing you know, he's going to break off a big run. So this is definitely going to be a fight for the Watchdogs on who to key in. It starts with Justin Zerpel. You need to make sure he's shut down, but make sure you're always paying respect to everyone else out there on offense.
Yeah, when you get Zerpel and that opportunity where he can run the ball, I mean, you really gain one extra blocker, and we are going to see motion out of the Trojans. He may follow motion and get behind the big blockers, and like you said, initial contact is not enough to bring Justin Zerpel down. It's going to take an immediate wrap-up and the rest of the defense to flow to him, but they will also run him away from motion on the weak side or on the wide side of the field and dare a linebacker or a defensive end to try to tackle him in open space.
And that will be one thing you talk about, even just tackling as well. You cannot come out here with a swagger and think you're just going to get a good lick on Zerpel and he's just going to take it and go down and all of a sudden he's going to be hurt or something like that. He's got his own swagger that he's going to get right back up. He relishes in contact. But, yeah, you mentioned when it comes to one-on-one, he's just so darn talented that this has to be gang tackling. We saw it last week against Canton that, one guy gets in, second guy comes in trying to punch the ball loose. You need to have that same type of tackling tonight against Justin.
And you referenced Owen Heath already, but let's talk about Owen just a little bit. Just a really great athlete, and again, just his size. I just watched a little bit of previous game tape, and again, the ability just to throw it up to him, and defenses had to start double or triple teaming him, and he's listed on the roster at what, 6'6"?
Yeah, 6'6", 240 pounds or something right around there. I mean, this guy looks like he is, well, let's just be honest. It looks like he kind of comes as an NFL tight end almost. He's going to have a great career going on for him. Yeah, I mean, I look back to him, I think it was 4 or 5 weeks ago when it was against the Canton Seahawks. He had 10 receptions for over 100 yards and 5 touchdowns. And I asked, I was like, how does that happen? We just threw up to Owen each time, and he was able to make big things. He's definitely going to be one of those tough guys to try to shut down. As we mentioned, 33 catches for him, over 500 yards, 12 touchdowns. He is the main target with that size. take nothing away from Beresford, but I just look at the defensive backs, and I have to feel, is it going to be Jake, or is it going to be the quarterback, Tate Van Otterloo, that has to shut down? I mean, you can't really put Jack. You really couldn't put Mike on that. That's a loss of 6 inches right there. So I have to feel like that's going to be Tate Van Otterloo.
Yeah.
And, again, you need Tate offensively at the quarterback position.
Yeah, last week we, just the tape that we saw over Madison, they initially had a defender on him at like 5'10". It just didn't get the job done.
Nope.
I look defensively for the Watchdogs. It'll be interesting to see, and we'll watch early on what they do, but it almost does kind of feel like it's going to have to be Goblish or Van Otterloo, or maybe even both of them on the same side of the field near him.
Yeah, I'd say it's just going to have to be getting quickly, reading the quarterback eyes, but that's, as we talk about, going to be difficult when Zerpel is just able to kind of scramble and make something happen.
We're going to see pulling linemen. We're going to see motion. We're going to see, Zerpel swinging all over the place. I mean, it really should be a fun show. Let's talk a little bit about the Trojans defensively. Again, they have the ability and quite a bit of speed. They're going to scrape and get to the outside. But an area where maybe they're a little vulnerable is those A and B gaps between the tackles.
Yeah, this is, we mentioned it earlier, a team that will switch out, offense and defense. They do have that luxury. Talk about Owen Heath. I believe he's actually the only one that does go both ways. They have two guys that will go both ways. But it's a little bit younger. A lot of this offense, I believe 10 out of the 11 guys are seniors, but this is kind of a younger defense, especially the defensive line. And even you look at the defensive ends, they really like to use kind of more the college-style type defensive ends where the guys are going to be taller, maybe not as bulky as what you see at the NFL level or that you're traditionally see at the high school level where it's, let's move a lot of meat around or these guys come in and try to terrorize some things. That will really be interesting when it comes to battling at the offensive line and trying to make that happen and open up some space. And for Beresford, that's where they dominate at is, controlling the offensive line.
Yeah, I think we could only hope to kind of look similar to we've, been maybe the last half of the season, and that is, dive, power, and really force them to stop that. And then at that point, maybe Jackson and pulls out another repeat and, breaks something out to the edge, or we do get a little play action pass and get an opportunity to take advantage of them having to collapse down and put some more guys in the box.
That is certainly right, because this can't be a one-dimension team tonight that you expect somebody to have a lot of yards in the game. You can't expect someone to go out here and get 150. You can't expect the performance that Jack put up against Canton. He had never had that type of game yet this season, and that was something unique, something special. Yeah, rain played a factor in that as well. Tonight, if you want to have success, if you're the Beresford Watchdogs, you're going to need 3-4 different guys to go out there 70, 80 yards running the football. If you can get to that mark with 3 different guys, you're feeling extremely comfortable because that means West Central doesn't ultimately have a plan to shut it down.
All right, Heath, I'm going to throw a hot take out here. This is the night I think we see Jake Goblish catch something big, maybe across the middle or down a sideline. Great receiver, great athlete, and we just haven't had to throw the ball a lot in the last 3-4 games. I think tonight's the night where we pound the ball inside, and I hope maybe a little play action. We get something to Jake Goblish across the middle or down the sideline.
It certainly is a hot take. I mean, again, we talk about throwing the football just 85 times so far this season for Tate for less than 500 yards. I mean, that's 3 times less than what Justin's throwing for. I agree with you because this is a team that has shown they can shut down the run. They've gone up against some great teams. The only team that's really had success running the football is the Winter Warriors on West Central, and that success didn't really come until second, third quarter when they really started to have that type of success. So, yes, for Beresford, if they want to be able to put up some big points, they got to be able to open up, look for play action, find Jake Goblish, and try to attack this defense when they're least expecting, which means doing it first and second down, not waiting until third down, and hopefully you find something.
All right, Heath, we've got 1 minute on the field clock. We've got the flag set across the field. We're going to go to a quick couple commercial break. We'll be back after the anthem and get this thing kicked off.
Should be exciting. Let's do it.
We all want to be happy, but sometimes that doesn't feel possible. But if you have hope, you have everything. Rising Hope Counseling provides high-quality mental health services with locations across South Dakota. Additionally, by providing telehealth, we ensure South Dakota's rural residents have access to high...
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace is the only hardware retailer that carries Benjamin Moore paint at over 3,800 stores. With Benjamin Moore's premium quality, you can be confident you're getting the best. You can buy in store or order what you need online for curbside pickup or delivery. When you want the best, Benjamin Moore paint from Ace at participating stores.
Find Benjamin Moore paint and other great products at your locally owned Olson's Ace Hardware in Beresford.
Fiesta Foods in Beresford is a family-owned store that offers a convenient one-stop shop where you can find everything you need, from the everyday essentials to specialty items from around the world. Find their weekly ad on their website. Fiesta Foods also has the best selection of cut meats in their deli department, fresh bakery, and fresh produce. And no matter the season or holiday, Fiesta Foods has it all right there in store. Open 7 days a week. Fiesta Foods is your one-stop store right in the hometown of Beresford.
Customer service is more than just a word. It's what Jensen Insurance Agency and Auto Owners Insurance does every day.
We have more companies than most agencies in town. We're able to find a competitive market for each family. We're able to farm that out, quote it with each of our carriers, including Auto Owners Insurance, of course, and see where it best fits.
In Sioux Falls, Beresford, and Elk Point, go to jensenagencyonline.com to find out more. Jensen Insurance Agency, building relationships since 1944.
At Northern State University, your future starts with an affordable education that's personalized for you. Experience hands-on learning guided by world-class supportive faculty. You'll also enjoy a full campus life with opportunities to choose from numerous student activities and events, all in a safe, welcoming community. At Northern, you'll find a college that's right for you, a place to belong. Your future starts here. Unleash your potential at Northern.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Classics Lounge in downtown Beresford is your destination for fun with darts, pool, and to catch all the action no matter what game it is. The colder season is here. Keep your perfect golf swing by using the indoor golf simulator. From the gridiron to the court, Classics is your spot to catch all activities of Watchdogs Live. Ready to cool off with a cold one? Classics Lounge is always ready to serve them up with a bite to eat too. That's Classics Lounge in downtown Beresford.
The Bridges at Beresford is the best 9-hole course in the area. You know that. The Bridges at Beresford is home to much more, including, starting next Thursday, the Thursday night special returns for the colder season. Food specials from 5 to 9. There's also the Friday happy hour for appetizers and money off adult beverages. Need room for a holiday party? There's plenty at Bridges of Beresford. Call today or find out the full details at beresfordbridges.com.
We all want to be happy, but sometimes that doesn't feel possible. But if you have hope, you have everything. Rising Hope Counseling provides high-quality mental health services with locations across South Dakota. Additionally, by providing telehealth, we ensure South Dakota's rural residents have access to high-quality mental health services. Our team lives and works in your communities, and we understand the unique challenges we face. Schedule an appointment by phone or online today. Rising Hope Counseling, offering hope, healing, and change.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace is the only hardware retailer that carries Benjamin Moore paint at over 3,800 stores. With Benjamin Moore's premium quality, you can be confident you're getting the best. You can buy in store or order what you need online for curbside pickup or delivery. When you want the best, Benjamin Moore paint from Ace at participating stores.
Find Benjamin Moore paint and other great products at your locally owned Olson's Ace Hardware in Beresford.
Fiesta Foods in Beresford is a family-owned store that offers a convenient one-stop shop where you can find everything you need, from the everyday essentials to specialty items from around the world. Find their weekly ad on their website. Fiesta Foods also has the best selection of cut meats in their deli department, fresh bakery, and fresh produce. And no matter the season or holiday, Fiesta Foods has it all right there in store. Open 7 days a week. Fiesta Foods is your one-stop store right in the hometown of Beresford.
Customer service is more than just a word. It's what Jensen Insurance Agency and Auto Owners Insurance does every day.
We have more companies than most agencies in town. We're able to find a competitive market for each family. We're able to farm that out, quote it with each of our carriers, including Auto Owners Insurance, of course, and see where it best fits.
In Sioux Falls, Beresford, and Elk Point, go to jensenagencyonline.com to find out more. Jensen Insurance Agency, building relationships since 1944.
At Northern State University, your future starts with an affordable education that's personalized for you. Experience hands-on learning guided by world-class supportive faculty. You'll also enjoy a full campus life with opportunities to choose from numerous student activities and events, all in a safe, welcoming community. At Northern, you'll find a college that's right for you, a place to belong. Your future starts here. Unleash your potential at Northern.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Classics Lounge in downtown Beresford is your destination for fun with darts, pool, and to catch all the action no matter what game it is. The colder season is here. Keep your perfect golf swing by using the indoor golf simulator. From the gridiron to the court, Classics is your spot to catch all activities of Watchdogs Live. Ready to cool off with a cold one? Classics Lounge is always ready to serve them up with a bite to eat too. That's Classics Lounge in downtown Beresford.
In the home of the my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today. 'Cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
All right, the colors have officially been retired here at West Central High School, Jim Utek Stadium. The anthem was taken care of, and that was a parent here at West Central, Kim Kramer. She did a great job on the anthem. Fans that are just tuning in, Jared Olson, Heath Nimke on the call. We've got the A-team traveling with us tonight, Hunter Penn, Easton Boom, Gavin Stewart, and also Renee James. So we, Heath, first time traveling on the road for Watchdogs Live ticket.
Yeah, might have coaxed you guys into that just a little bit. I don't know. I get used to it where I come from, that no matter where teams go, we go with them. So, yeah, had to get on the road, enjoy this little bit of a road trip. And you have to when it's semifinal football. I mean, you never know what this could result in. And if you can be a part of history, first time in 35 years, might as well go with.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate the little nudge. It's just what we needed to step out of our comfort zone and give this a try. Not all of our listeners, again, this is the first time on the road. We are in a beautiful, brand new crow's nest. It's just kind of ridiculous, the setup we've got here. But again, special thanks to the West Central administration for getting us our own booth. We're borrowing their internet. We've got heat. I mean, it really is a nice elevated setup here, and we've got a great perch here to take in this game. But if we do run into a little bit of technical difficulties, have patience with us as a summary.
Yeah, and it's, like you mentioned, a beautiful facility, as this was not the same way. I was here about 6 weeks ago. This is a redone kind of broadcast booth, because the other one, we walked around up here a couple of years ago, and you felt as though you were going to fall off the back. It was already leaning. You didn't feel comfortable. They knew they needed a new facility. So under construction 6 weeks ago, there was not carpet. It was a big old mess, but it just looks beautiful here tonight.
All right, we've got captains out at midfield. We've got the coin toss done. West Central has won the toss. They will receive and take the ball. Watchdogs will play defense and take the ball in the second half. Pretty exciting setup here, Heath. I mean, to think, 48 minutes from now, one of these teams is going to be making plans to travel to the Dakota Dome.
Well, the first thing you have to do, though, focus on the first 12 minutes. The old adage is you can't win a game within the first quarter, but you sure can lose it. And with West Central going to take the football first, they're going to see that experience of Justin Zerpel, what he is capable of doing. Should be exciting to watch, but you want to make sure you get West Central Trojans off the field quickly here on this opening drive. Do not let them get comfortable in this game, because if they can get comfortable at home here at UTET Stadium, it is extremely hard to win.
All right, we're going to have a kickoff here shortly for the Watchdogs. Number 9, Ryan Spagan will be doing the kicking duties. And who we got back deep here for the Trojans? Number 24 and number 33, it looks like.
Yeah, back deep to return there includes Jude Jardine along with Jesse Jost, both great return mans. Jesse Jost does have a kickoff return already for a touchdown this season.
Spagan's kick does go off kind of a squibber. It's going to get near the sideline. Flag is thrown. It does just barely go out of bounds on that far side of the field.
Good job by the Watchdogs as well to hustle after. I'm surprised there wasn't more of a hustle by the Trojans there, because that is a live ball once it is kicked. If that were stayed in bounds, the Watchdogs would have picked that up. It's not a punt where it's down. That is a live ball. But unless the penalty comes out, It's going to move it up to the 35-yard line. That's what the Trojans will take over first down and 10.
Yeah, it looked like it almost stopped rolling, and then the flag did come flying in the air. And you're right, the Watchdogs were hustling down into that kind of open pocket over there.
Also really cool to see, just like we saw in Beresford a week ago, I guess we should say seen at Beresford, natural grass at UTET Stadium.
Yeah, no, great facility here. Zerpel back in the gun, going to fake the handoff to his running back, keeps the ball, going to run behind his big offensive line, and he's still turning those wheels. Gain of about 3 on the play.
And that's exactly what we were talking about during the pregame show. He's just not a quarterback that's skin and bones, that's just going to take a couple of hits, fall down. He is going to make some plays of his own. He got behind his offensive line, just kept those feet moving. Nice pickup on first down.
And we will not see the West Central Trojans huddle. They're looking for a call from the sideline. They all have wristbands on. This time they're going to hand it off to number 20, the running back, Aiden Bartman. He goes for about 6 yards. He's getting about a yard or so short of a first down.
Nice pickup by Aiden Bartman to the outside. Hesitated in the backfield for just a moment to let it open up in front of him, and it was able to do so on that push on the far side and make it a very manageable 3rd down and 1.
Okay, we've got like a jumbo package here. We've got some beef kind of off the right side of Zerpel. There's a linebacker kind of coming across early, but they were looking to bring in the power package there and run that thing up the middle.
Yeah, that time Friedrich was just trying to jump the, play count there and make a big play immediately. You know what? That's a play you don't necessarily mind with that jumbo package only needing a yard. You'll take the offsides penalty, move it 5 yards, make it first down in 10. But the Beresford Watchdogs, they're already seeing right away what the different packages West Central can come in with.
Yeah, who they brought in there was number 77, Gavin Pischke. He's a junior. He's at 6'2", 275. That was going to be their lead back into the hole.
As you mentioned, no huddle, quickly back to the line of scrimmage, all looking over to assistant coaches to get the play and look down at their wrist.
Going to give that off to the right side. I believe that's number 33.
Yeah, Jesse Jost is that second running back. He's more of the scat running back, going to use his speed a lot like we see with Jack with the Beresford Watchdogs, able to pick up a nice 16 yards and get a first down.
Okay, they bring in another wide receiver out on the left side, Deuce Sherrard, and they're quickly back to the line. A couple first downs early here for the Trojans. Wing off the right. Couple claps. We're going to see some additional movement there. That will be a false start against the Trojans and back them up here on that first down attempt.
Yeah, you talk about the no huddle. It's just like you see on defense for the Beresford Watchdogs. Nowadays, everyone's wearing wristbands, and it's simply just a number call that they are making in. That call is, or the number I should say, is going to be different for what position you play. Offensive line simply tells you which way to block, and of course for wide receivers and running backs tells you what the play is exactly going to be.
Also coming out of the bottom of that pile is, I believe, Bowden. Yeah, it is Zach Bowden coming out of the bottom of that pile as well. Second and 15 here for the Trojans.
And do a nice job that time of stacking up Justin Zerpel, not letting him get free. Really the first time after that penalty that Beresford has West Central on a no gain.
That time, I believe the handoff goes to Jackson McGraw, possibly.
Nope, it was Aiden Bartman again, who Aiden actually waited for Justin to go out in front and make a lead block out there.
I was kind of keeping an eye on that play out to the left side, the tight end, Owen Heath. I was just kind of curious who they were lining up over top of him. And on that last play over there, they were putting Frederick kind of over on that linebacker side. Could be covered by Watkins across the field. Pretty impressive catch there. That is number 12 for the Trojans. Xavier Ferris, the senior, 5'8", 160 pounds. He went up a long ways to grab that.
Yeah, makes a huge play. He is going to be just a yard short, so about a pickup of 8 yards on the completion. But that's what we see with Justin Zerpel. He's able to move out of the pocket and make something happen downfield.
All right, jumbo package back in again. They've got the big guy just off the right side of Zerpel. kind of stacked right behind the guard and the tackle. Zerpel claps his hands, looks back to the sideline. They relook at a new number. Zerpel takes it right up the middle. He's hit. He's hit initially by Robert Watkins, but he does get enough for another Trojan first down.
Yeah, clapped his hands together, and what you might see with college and NFL, all right, see if they can't get the defense to jump. Well, not in high school. That's just to see what kind of play they want to do. They're seeing what the defense was giving them.
All right, Zerpel looking back to the side, looking at his wrist again. Jumbo package is still on the field. Going to hand that off to the back, number 20, Aiden Bartman. Bartman with a gain of about 4, we'll call it, maybe 5.
And nice job by the West Central Trojans. Are at the 8:05 mark here of this first quarter, just bringing it right down the field. Not good for the Beresford Watchdogs, more specifically because all they're doing is simple runs. We've only seen Zerpel drop back to pass once.
Jost subs into the game. He's set up directly behind Zerpel. They're going to hand it off to Jost. He's going to kick it out to the right side. Brought down by Tadlock, but not before he can gain what appears to be another West Central first down, and they are signaling first down Trojans.
Yeah, already 4 carries for 21 yards for Aiden Bartman, and now Jost has 2 carries for 20 yards. We talk about Justin Zerpel. He's been held in check so far, but the other 2 running backs have been able to come on and pick up nice yardage for the Trojans.
All right, Trojans switch packages again. They've got a wingback on the left, wide receiver split out on each side. Zerpel's in the gun by himself. Motion coming from the right. Going to pitch it forward to number 12, Xavier Ferris. He cuts it back up the middle of the field for a gain of about 5 or 6 for the Trojans.
And, of course, you have to count that as a pass as well. So add it to another one for Justin Zerpel. Goes for 5 yards. But continue just to pick up easy yards on first down and make everything just so manageable already 5 minutes into this first quarter.
All right, Trojans bring in Ashton Engen and Gavin Pischke, 275 and 200 pounds back in that jumbo package. They're going to shift and transition, kind of got a bunch on the right side now. Zerpel's going to work to the right side, take advantage of the extra blockers. 3 guys near him, and he just ran around them. Arm tackling isn't going to work against Zerpel, and he's in for a touchdown for an early lead for the Trojans.
Yeah, I saw that one coming immediately. When they shifted that way, they wanted to keep it with Justin Zerpel the entire time, wait for the blocks to develop out in front of him. And again, you talk about the size that West Central has against the Beresford Watchdogs, certainly outmatched in that mark, and able to go in from 16 yards out, get the first score.
In to kick the extra point attempt is number 35, Campbell Fisher. She's a senior. That puts West Central ahead 7-0. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
The Bridges at Beresford is the best 9-hole course in the area. You know that. The Bridges at Beresford is home to much more, including, starting next Thursday, the Thursday night special returns for the colder season. Food specials from 5 to 9. There's also the Friday happy hour for appetizers and money off adult beverages. Need room for a holiday party? There's plenty at Bridges of Beresford. Call today or find out the full details at beresfordbridges.com.
Why choose Farmers Union Insurance? They value what's important to you and your way of life. Whether you're a driver, homeowner, farmer, or business owner, let them show you how they can provide the protection you need. Find your local agent and get started today. Can you also find out more at farmersunioninsurance.com. Heath, welcome back here. We're 6:39 left in the opening quarter. Trojans moved the ball right down the field, and now they're kicking off to the Watchdogs back deep. Nobody's there to grab it. It's going to not get to the end zone. They're going to have to pick it up at the 2-yard line. That is a mental mistake for the Watchdogs.
Yeah, I'm not quite for sure what they were expecting there. I get letting it go back behind them if they need to. But that bounced right about the 12-yard line and then just kind of died from there. And had to roll another 12 yards, does not do so. And now the Watchdogs up in bad territory. And right now, I'm not quite for sure who that is. But that looks like, who is that down there on the field for the is that Seth James
that
right
is
now?
Seth James being tended to by the trainer.
Of course, Seth James, a pivotal part of this offense. One of the, I guess, really only wide receivers they label him as.
Yeah, 6'4", 215 pounds, junior for the Watchdogs, and he's coming off with some assistance from Tyler Hagan from Beresford, so that will be a setback for the Dogs. They'll get him checked out and see if he's able to play the rest of this game or not, but Watchdogs are going to have to get something going, 1st and 10 from their own 4-yard line.
Yeah, you just got punched this out of your own end zone right now. They go in with the tight formation.
Tight formation, under center, it's going to go to Frederick off the right side. He's wrapped up quickly out there. Just trying to get a quick number on who had that tackle. It's number 10 on the tackle. And for the Trojans, that is Wyatt Nielsen, senior, 6 foot, 185 pounds. Gain of a couple for the Dogs, bring up 2nd and 8.
Something that Watchdogs can't do, though, they have to make the cut immediately upfield. Don't let it string out.
Motion here out of Stennon. Cut back inside to Frederick. He's wrapped up in the inside there. That looks like number 8 coming out of that pile, Chet Sarda. 3rd and 3 here for the Dogs, deep in their own end zone. This is a key play to get this thing started.
I want to go back to that kind of end of the play where they faked the option. I need that to be carried out all the way by Jackson Tadlock and Tate Van Ortelu. We saw 3 different Trojans actually bite that way on the option. Make sure you sell that completely. Don't let them crack back.
Okay, Van Ortelu kind of surveying the field. He's going to get back under center here. Looking to pass. He's got a receiver in the outside. It was tipped. Before it was caught by Frederick. He's going to be about a yard short of a first down.
Yeah, taking a look. Nice job by Frederick there just to make sure he brought in the ball. You said tipped at the line and makes it such a dangerous play. I think they want to examine this with the chains. From my angle, it does look like he's just a little short. But again, good reception for holding on for it and trying to make something happen downfield. And even better, open tackle by the Trojans.
Yeah, this is at near the 14-yard line, and we were about the 4.5 when we started this series. So I think we're going to be about a half short, but they're going to bring the chains from the far side of the field and just verify this one. Hit big game, good opportunity to just make sure that this is measured before we move on.
Yeah, looking down here at the camera angle as well. The Trojans have just gathered in front of the ball, so we don't have a good look on the camera, but as you can see, indicated by the official, it's going to be just short. 4th and inches here. Most of the time, I would say you go for it if you're the Beresford Watchdogs, especially with 5:04 here in the first quarter, already down 7-0. But I don't know if you will, backed up into your own end zone. You don't want the Trojans to make a defensive stop and give them the football in the red zone.
Yeah, that would be difficult on the 14.5-yard line. They have brought in Goblish, and he is back in punt formation. So we could assume that's what they're going to do. Back deep for the Trojans is number 21, Caden Hall. He's a senior, listed at 5'11", 150 pounds. Goblish gets it off pretty clean. It's going to come to this near side. Is fielded in the air and wrapped up after a return of about 3 or 4 yards. That tackle was by number 13, Shagrud.
Yeah, nice tackle by Shagrud just in the open field to not let the Trojans get anywhere on the return. And kind of a risky one as he came running in to catch that. Sometimes those are dropped, but a sure-handed catch there by the Trojans, and they set up already in plus territory. The boys in blue.
Yeah, they're going to be set up right on the Watchdog 44-yard line. So time for the defense to pick up on those keys, where the ball is going, and fill the gap just a little quicker.
I want to see right now them kind of shut down that run. You can expect a little bit more passes. Right now, Zerpel all alone in the backfield.
Motion here from the right. Fakes the handoff. Does try to run it up the middle, and he's grabbed initially by Shirk. And down low is Tadlock, and he was still gaining yards with two of our best tacklers.
You know, and I can't tell there, but the way that Shirk had him there, it looked like he was kind of grabbing him from the backside, almost trying to knock that ball loose. Again, you like that idea if you're the second, third tackler. That's what you're taught. But if you're the first tackler, especially against Justin Zerpel, make sure you're cutting him down there at the knees. Don't let him get any extra yards.
Yeah, small gain on that. It's still going to be 2nd and 10, second and a really long 9. Motion again. Pitch forward. It's grabbed by number 3. Crew higher, and he's hit after a short gain. Bring up a big 3rd down here for the Dogs.
Good job by Robert Watkins in there to really chase that one down. Extremely tough to do when you're running it to the wide side, or I should guess say kind of that pitch play that counts as a pass, going to that wide side, but making it a manageable 3rd down and 7 if you're the Watchdogs. West Central really hasn't faced this type of 3rd down yet tonight.
Jumbo package back in the backfield also is number 8, Chet Sarda. Going to shift that alignment again on the right side. They're going right. Frederick is free, can't quite wrap him up. Arm tackle by Goblish, can't quite get him.
Looks like he's going to be just about a yard short, but as we mentioned, for Beresford, they were set up in their own, deep in their own territory. For West Central, already in plus territory, they're going to go for this.
Yeah, Zach Bowden on the tackle, but not before they can get a pickup about 4 yards. So it's 4th and 1.
It's going to be Justin all the way. They're going to look around, but this is going to Justin Zerpel.
Zerpel behind the big guys, going off right tackle. He's got an opening. Luckily on that one, number 81 for the Watchdogs saved a huge play. Jake Goblish saved a touchdown.
Second time that Justin Zerpel has broken free for a pickup of 16 yards. Last time he did that, it was a touchdown. But as I mentioned, it's going to Justin Zerpel. They're putting it in the hands of the playmaker, and that's why you do so.
2 minutes, 35 seconds left in this opening quarter. West Central 7, Beresford 0. Snap gets away from Zerpel. He's running backwards. He just smartly gets on it. But that's going to be a huge loss for the Trojans. That's going to back them up to the Watchdog 36-yard line.
Now, neither one is going to get an official sack in there, but good thing that Beresford was able to get back there, because if you hesitate 1 or 2 seconds, maybe don't try as hard, Zerpel would have picked that up and tried to make something happen.
Okay, Zerpel back in the gun. Flanked off to the left, running back, 2 wide receivers left. Wing back on the right side, looking back to the coaching staff, bringing in the new play. Looking screenplay to the left. That ball is thrown on the ground. It is called incomplete, even if it was completed. The receiver did go to the ground. Out on that side, it was number 2, the intended target was Deuce Sherrard.
And again, just for everyone clear out there, when it comes to, you watch a lot of football out there in your life, in high school, once a knee goes down, the play is officially over. It's not like the NFL where you can get back up and continue downfield without any contact.
It's 3rd and a lot. I'm looking on the scoreboard. They're saying it's 3rd and 27 here for the Trojans. Again, an opportunity where they're going to get 2 plays at this. They're going to probably look to bite off a little bit now and get the rest later. Play action pass. Looking down the middle. It could be picked off.
Oh.
Van Otterloo was right there, and Goblish went up as well. They kind of ran into each other, but luckily 2 people were there because he was throwing it to number 23, Owen Heath.
How about this? You have Jared Olson, who says in the pregame show, if you want to shut down Owen Heath, you're going to need Goblish and Van Otterloo back there to break things up. You just don't need them on top of each other. That would have been an interception. Did not come out cleanly of the hand, Justin Zerpel. But maybe even this punting situation, it might have ended up right in the same spot. We'll have to see here.
Yeah, I think that's the reality probably here, hopefully, is and maybe we end up even a little bit better position, is after the punt, we get a little bit better position. 1 bouncer off the ground. Punter did a great job fielding that. This one is going to be a great punt. It's going to stop on its own at the 1-yard line.
Well, Justin Zerpel, by the way, is the punter as well. And if he doesn't have skill with his arm and legs, I guess he can just do it with 1 leg and punting.
Okay, Zerpel takes the 1 short hop like a Derek Jeter shortstop grab and gets that punt to go down on its own. lands at the 1-yard line, and that's where the Watchdogs will take over deep in their own territory.
And now this is something I want to go back to in the pregame show. You could see it for West Central. The whole entire offense comes out. They go get water. They regroup. Beresford, what was on defense, now goes out on offense. This is the two-way versus the one-way. Back in your own end zone again.
1:32 on the clock, opening quarter, a little misdirection. They're going to hit it up the middle. That is Tadlock. He breaks free. Stiff arm. He's still working up the left side before he's run out of bounds. Initially brought down by number 11, Dalton Mulder, but Tadlock with the spark that the Watchdogs needed at that point.
Yeah, 33-yard carry there by Jackson. I talked about it to other people. I say they're going to run the football. It seems so simple, but yet Beresford just makes it look so magical. A huge play to get out of their own, shout out their own end zone and make something happen downfield.
Now, Heath, that's deep kind of down in the corner. We're in a kind of a narrower booth that's a little deeper. I'm kind of looking through 3 windows to get a look at that. Was the hole massive there? Did Tadlock just kind of blow through that thing?
He just kind of blew through it and was able
Here
to follow
comes
his big
Stennin
blocks.
working off the left side. He's run out of bounds by number 8, Chet Sarda, but not before Stennin can get the Watchdogs another huge gain and a first down into West Central territory.
This one a pickup of 23 yards. I said I don't think you can expect him to have the same type of game, but 2 carries for 28 yards. And again, just following the blocks on the outside and something you don't usually see, going to the narrow side. So you're saying, hey, I believe in my guys are more athletic than yours. We're going to push you downfield, make a great play for the Watchdogs.
Great job by the left side of that offensive line, sealing things up, and then a couple lead blockers really turned the corner there for Stennin. Again, more misdirection. We've got a pulling lineman coming off of that tight end spot over there, I believe, was kind of leading the way.
And also, Tate Van Outerloo was in there as well, putting out some lead blocks. West Central is diving at the football. They're trying to cause chaos immediately right there at the line of scrimmage. So basically, that kind of option is being taken away for the Beresford Watchdogs to try and find anything up the middle. But when you're able to constantly bounce it to the outside, finding some early success here on this drive of bouncing it to the near side.
Now working off of that right tight end spot, I wonder with Seth James possibly out, working on that right side over there, that was number 84, Joseph Sharp, the sophomore, that had that big block coming off of that last play, 6'5", 230 pounds.
End of quarter.
End of quarter. So West Central 7, Beresford 0. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be back with second quarter action.
We all want to be happy, but sometimes that doesn't feel possible. But if you have hope, you have everything. Rising Hope Counseling provides high-quality mental health services with locations across South Dakota. Additionally, by providing telehealth, we ensure South Dakota's rural residents have access to high-quality mental health services. Our team lives and works in your communities, and we understand the unique challenges we face. Schedule an appointment by phone or online today. Rising Hope Counseling, offering hope, healing, and change.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace is the only hardware retailer that carries Benjamin Moore paint at over 3,800 stores. With Benjamin Moore's premium quality, you can be confident you're getting the best. You can buy in store or order what you need online for curbside pickup or delivery. When you want the best, Benjamin Moore paint from Ace at participating stores.
Find Benjamin Moore paint and other great products at your locally owned Olson's Ace Hardware in Beresford.
At Moeller Auto Parts, customer service is driven by independent owners who are passionate about delivering excellence in everything they do. This dedication is enhanced by best-in-class products and experienced parts professionals. We deliver the right products to the right price, right place at the right time. Moeller Auto Parts.
You talk about right place, right time. It goes back to the play action. As you were looking up that we saw last week, they find Jack Stennin. I mean, it was the exact same play that we saw go for 2 touchdowns last week against Canton, pick up 32 yards, first down and goal.
I love it. I just look up from my screen, reading the lead in, and I look up and it screams of the Watchdog fans on the far side. And out I see number 5 coming up off the ground. Great for Jack Stennin.
Yeah, just great play action once again. Second time now we've seen Tate Van Outerloo drop back to pass, and just great play calling And I'll bring something up here in a little bit more about this broadcast booth and how we have a unique advantage up here as well.
All right, Van Outerloo under center. Shagrud faking it. It's carried up the middle. That is Tadlock in for the score.
Jackson Tadlock, 2 yards out, 4 carries for 38 yards, all picked up here on this drive. Started at its own 2, go 98 yards for the Beresford Watchdogs. If anyone out there thought, well, this is going to be a West Central runaway train, Beresford just showed you, no, it's not.
Watchdogs, 99-yard play drive. Unbelievable. That kick is up and good. That is number 22, Colton Steen, kicking that one for the Watchdogs, and he gets it up and good. So we'll be back after a quick commercial break.
Fiesta Foods in Beresford is a family-owned store that offers a convenient one-stop shop where you can find everything you need, from the everyday essentials to specialty items from around the world. Find their weekly ad on their website. Fiesta Foods also has the best selection of cut meats in their deli department, fresh bakery, and fresh produce. And no matter the season or holiday, Fiesta Foods has it all right there in store. Open 7 days a week. Fiesta Foods is your one-stop store right in the hometown of Beresford.
Classics Lounge in downtown Beresford is your destination for fun with darts, pool, and more. The colder season is here, and you need to keep your perfect golf swing. Use the indoor golf simulator. That's Classics Lounge in downtown Beresford. All right, Heath, we're getting ready to kick off here.
Semi-final football, let's go!
This is great. Watchdogs, again, have got to feel really good after getting pinned deep twice. And they're calling it over the broadcast speakers here at Jim Utex Stadium. A 98-yard drive. I call it 99. What's the difference? Dogs punch it in and tie this thing up with 11:13 on the clock.
And it only took 6 plays as well. They went down the field extremely quick on some big plays. Great drive for the Watchdogs.
That kickoff could not be fielded cleanly, and jumping on it there for the Trojans, number 19, Carson Wilde, the sophomore, and it appears if the Watchdogs kicking game, the strategy might be don't kick it deep.
Don't kick it deep. And now coming out here on this third offensive possession, we have seen West Central actually move the ball extremely well besides one bad snap that set them up for eventually a punt. They need to make sure they tighten things up and shut down the Trojans here quickly on this third possession.
Okay, a couple receivers near side the field. Going to hand it off that time to number 33, and he breaks some arm tackles. Ultimately brought down by Robert Watkins, and also in on that was number 56, Aaron Larson.
Yeah, that was Jost who got the carry. He reminds you a lot of Jack Stennon, the smaller running back that just goes right up the hole and gets blended in with offensive linemen. Hard to see who actually has the football. By the time you do, he's already picked up a bunch of yards.
Yeah, gain of 9 there to bring up second and a really, really short one for the Trojans. Fake, going to be kept by Zerpel. Going to get the first down, gain of about 3. That'll bring them right to their own 40-yard line.
The sellout there by the Beresford Watchdogs. They were bringing the house and the kitchen sink along with it, trying to make something happen right away at the line of scrimmage. Unable to do so. Pick up for the West Central Trojans on 2nd and inches.
Zerpel claps the hands, looks back to the coaches on the sideline. 10:22 on the game clock. That's the second quarter. Zerpel, quick screen out to the left side. It is dropped by the receiver, number 17, Leighton Johnson, the junior. Just couldn't quite hold on to it, and they had a decent little setup over there. They were going to go for about 6, 7, 8 yards.
Yeah, that was a huge play, and I don't know what happened there. I feel like he just heard maybe some footsteps, which would have been his own guys, because they were actually blocks out there in front. You got to hold on to that. That's why you have those sticky gloves on.
Yeah, it looked like one of those, ran before the ball was officially caught, but nice play design there for the Trojans. They're going to go back to a little bread and butter here. Number 33 working off the right tackle. Again, that's Jesse Jost, the junior, 5'6", 145 pounds. All right, 3rd and 6 here for the Trojans. Looking at the sideline. Players still looking at the wristbands. Zerpel's going to clap his hands. Snap comes. He's going to ISO to the left. He options the defensive end, pitches it out. First tackler miss, and it is eventually wrapped up by Shirk, just short of the first down. But they really had an opportunity there. But wisely, the defensive end, had to commit to his call, and that was to take the quarterback.
Yeah, nice job. That's what you have to do, is shut down Justin Zerpel and then help the other guys pursuing in there, and able to do so. But a nice pickup of 6 yards makes it, again, a manageable 4th down and 1 for the Trojans here.
That defensive end on the right side that was being optioned is number 82, Seth James. So James is back in the game.
But again, it's a quarterback keeper for Justin Zerpel on 4th down and 1. Kind of what the Philadelphia Eagles like to run that we see at the NFL level. Just keep it with the big quarterback up front, run it right down the heart of the defense, pick up 2 yards. It's working every single time.
Yeah, Justin Zerpel, senior, 5'8", 170 pounds. Let's see what they do here. 1st and 10. They have just crossed midfield into Watchdog territory. High snap. Zerpel grabs it. Ball's on the ground, and the running back jumps on it. So high snap led to that. The timing was off just a little bit between the quarterback and running back. Tried to get it to number 20, Aiden Bartman, and Bartman, the sophomore, wisely just gets on top of it.
Want to give a shout-out here as well. You see this on Facebook with Watchdogs Live. Something that happens is with bots out there, they post extra links that say you have to pay for this. Remember, with Live Ticket TV and Watchdogs Live, you never have to pay for a broadcast. If someone says, I have to pay for something, they're on the wrong broadcast that doesn't even exist.
Yeah, so when we put something out on social media, again, the bots or these other entities reply and put a link below that, and that is not Watchdogs will know if we're doing the broadcast. You're always going to watchdogs.live, and you will find our broadcast there.
Yep, so make sure you spread that around to anyone who's maybe lost yet this moment. By the way, Zerpel got back to the line of scrimmage, so 3rd down and 10. Here comes the pass, and watch for Owen Heath. Find out where he's at on the field.
Clock is ticking, 7:41 on the clock. West Central 7, Beresford 7. Almost halfway through the second quarter. Little wheel route out to the left. Pressure's coming, but he gets it away. That's Van Otterloo, and he breaks it up. Can't quite pull it in, but Van Otterloo in center field does get over there and take away that little wheel route working up the sideline.
Oh, my goodness. It broke down, and no one decided to cover Owen Heath on the breakdown right over the middle. I told you got to find him. He was wide open. Watchdogs catch a huge break.
All right, he's hard to miss in the middle of the field, but luckily Zerpel didn't see him out there and decided to throw sideline. They're back in punt formation, 3 up blockers. Back deep for the Dogs. That is Shagrood. He misses it, muffs it, but it is quickly grabbed. Which dog got on that one? Jack Stennon saved the day. And he's slow to get up, but he saved the day.
Yeah, and that was just a bad job by Michael there as he was starting to lean backwards or was getting away with the ball. He was trying to catch that actually just with his hands. On punt return, you got to catch that in with the body. Gets extremely lucky that Jack was back there to get on top of it.
All right, Watchdogs take over. Again, score tied 7-7, 7:22 on the clock. Watchdogs with an opportunity to make another long drive here. That last drive only took, 6 plays?
Yes, 6 plays, 98 yards.
All right, this time they've started on the 14. They're only going to have to go 86.
See if they can do it again.
Motion here out of Tadlock. Fakes it. Dive does come, maybe a short gain of a yard at most.
Yeah, it almost seemed like Jack Stennon was kind of surprised that he was the one that got the handoff. Didn't really have any enthusiasm in running there, but I even go back to that punt. He did take kind of a hit covering it back up. He seemed like he was almost a little slow, dinged up, coming back to his feet. So keep an eye on that to make sure Jack is completely okay.
All right, Van Otterloo over to the sideline, comes back into the huddle. Watchdogs clap their hands, come out of the huddle. Van Otterloo again surveying the field. Double wing formation. Wide receivers in tight. That's Stennon in motion. They're going to pitch it out to him. Kind of our first move outside around the wide side of the field, and Stennon goes for a decent little gain there. He's eventually wrapped up by number 24 for the Trojans, Jude Jardine. 3rd and 5 for the Dogs.
Yeah, nice job by Jackson Tedlock out there as well, getting the lead block for the Beresford Watchdogs, trying to make something happen. And again, using that wide side of the field, maybe the only thing you'd like to see is them cut that up a little bit sooner, maybe even make a cutback, see if they can't find some open space.
3rd and 5 here for the Watchdogs. 6 minutes on the clock. We're halfway through the second quarter. Van Otterloo under center. He's going to roll out. He's got a receiver. Could not quite connect with Tadlock. Threw it behind him. It's going to be 4th and 5, deep into dog territory, and the punt team's going to come out.
Now you're going to have to help me out here. I don't know how good Tate's arm is, but he did have Goldbrish down the seam. He had beat his defender. You just had to throw that one out in front of him. I think you just kind of completely missed him, or he doesn't have that big of an arm.
I'll reference Mount Vernon Plankington 2021.
There you go. The answer is yes, he has a good arm.
Flag down here. We'll see what the initial call is. I'm not really seeing either side clap or giving much indication on this one. Flag was thrown way in the backfield. Is a delay of game possibly? Substitution infraction against the Trojans.
Yeah, the illegal substitution. It's going to make
We're maybe 4th and 6. I said 4th and 5. It's just going to be about a yard short. So it was 4th and 6. That 5-yard penalty brings it to 4th and 1. They're going to leave Goblish back in punt formation.
So if they might play a little bit with fire there. Try to go for it.
A lot of pressure off the west central side, left side. Goblish gets it away. Right on the coverage for the Watchdogs, and they're going to down that about the Trojan 45-yard line. 5:42 to go in the half. Let's go to a quick commercial break.
Customer service is more than just a word. It's what Jensen Insurance Agency and Auto Owners Insurance does every day.
We have more companies than most agencies in town. We're able to find a competitive market for each family. We're able to farm that out, quote it with each of our carriers, including Auto Owners Insurance, of course, and see where it best fits.
In Sioux Falls, Beresford, and Elk Point, go to jensenagencyonline.com to find out more. Jensen Insurance Agency, building relationships since 1944.
Johnson Heating and Cooling, specializing in residential and commercial service and installation of boilers, geothermal units, furnace and air conditioning units of all brands, servicing residential and commercial needs. Call today for your heating and cooling needs. That's Johnson Heating and Cooling in Beresford.
Last play was carried for Justin Serple, 3 yards overall, 12 carries for 34 yards for him tonight.
All right, Zerpel back at the gun. He does have one running back. He is going to fake it and then keep it and pull back it himself. He goes by 3 Watchdogs before they eventually get an ankle and bring him down. Ultimately wrapped up by Robert Watkins and Seth James. Initially made contact there by Landon Shirk.
And by the way, if you're feeling like, man, hasn't Justin Zerpel carried for more yards than that? The answer is yes. But again, that high snap where he lost 18 yards, he just followed on top of it. That does count against him for rushing yards.
All right, good point there, Heath. Watchdogs, big 3rd down here. Again, the Trojans are going to be 4-down territory. Looking to the sideline, back at their wristbands. Watchdogs get decent penetration, but the running back just found an open lane off that right side, and that was number 20 again. Aiden Bartman for the Trojans.
Yeah, Bartman has actually been kind of held quiet so far tonight. They've been doing a lot more running with Jesse Jost, of course, with Justin Zerpel. But Bartman that time waited for kind of that block to develop right in front of him. And when he did, finally hit the hole, able to get a first down and more.
All right, Heath, again for our listeners, we're trying to read the clock here. We're at 4 minutes. We are on the far left end of this new crow's nest. The scoreboard is on the far right end. Nice little play. Again, they worked out to that wide receiver screen. That time they connected it. I believe it was number 24 that time. Is that Jardine?
No, that was actually on the reception. That time was Mason Breens who came up with the reception.
Okay. So we are unable to get our clock that typically shows the scoreboard and the clock time set up here. We just can't get it pointed that far down The angle just doesn't allow it here at Jim Utek Stadium. So 3:22 left on the clock. Trojans moving the ball, second and about 4. Zerpel, he is grabbed there by initial contact is made by Seth James, and he one-handed, held him until the rest of the crew could get there to clean it up.
Yeah, you talk about that dog tackling. They were able to clean things up nicely. A big loss of 3 yards to Justin Zerpel, and even a little bit unique situation as well. You talk about the broadcast booth. If we won the open up the window, we could actually hand stats to the coaches. When I was here 6 weeks ago, it was no window there. I could give the coaches high fives. We didn't because we lost 33-0.
So the next booth right next to us is Coach Arlen Lickness on the headset. That is going to be another Trojan first down. So right when we deliver them a little blow and take them back, they go for a gain of about 12 or 15 there. Another Trojan first down.
Yeah, Aiden Bartman picks up his biggest pickup of yards tonight, and it seemed like it was going to be a 3rd down 7, maybe looking for the pass to the Beresford Watchdogs, but the Trojans go run again.
2:17 on the clock. West Central 7, Beresford 7, 2:12 before the half. Quick pitch forward to number 2. He's met out there by Van Otterloo. That ball is kept in play. The clock is going to continue to run. No gain, maybe a short loss of 1 on the play.
All 3 timeouts, by the way, for both teams. So West Central, yes, they can continue to work that clock. As you mentioned, that stayed in bounds there.
The clock did stop for a second there. It was sitting on 2:01, and now it's back running again. 1:50 on the clock.
Well, home cooking.
I think that's what that was, Heath. Zerpel hands it off. Seal block there by number get the number here because that was a great seal block out there. That was number 53 on the block. Alex Lillifloren, the senior, 5'11", 215 pounds. The linebacker just got held up and could not get out there. West Central Trojans touchdown.
Yeah, Jesse Joes able to break free for 26 yards, and we were referencing to the time, and with 99 seconds remaining, huge touchdown for West Central to strike right before half, and they needed it as well because Beresford does get the football to start the second half.
Campbell Fisher puts another one through for the Trojans, so it's 14 West Central, Beresford 7, 1:39 left in this opening half. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
At Northern State University, your future starts with an affordable education that's personalized for you. Experience hands-on learning guided by world-class supportive faculty. You'll also enjoy a full campus life with opportunities to choose from numerous student activities and events, all in a safe, welcoming community. At Northern, you'll find a college that's right for you, a place to belong. Your future starts here. Unleash your potential at Northern.
Jensen Insurance and Real Estate. They're an independent insurance agency, which means they have made available some of our best companies for your insurance coverage. They service clients across the state with office locations in Beresford, Sioux Falls, and Elk Point. At Jensen Insurance and Real Estate, we work with every customer to proficiently address all your concerns. For everything Jensen Insurance and Real Estate offers, find out more on their website.
28-13 right now at halftime. Del Rapids leads it over Sioux Falls Christian.
All right, so Dell's out to a decent little lead there. That ball is grabbed by Valder. Tackler had a hold of the ball off to his right side, but Valder was able to hold on to it and brings it out to the Watchdog 25-yard line, 1:31 on the clock. Let's see what kind of magic the Dogs have got here. Going into the final minute 31 with, 75 yards to go.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking over here to Arlen Lickness, who calls the plays, doesn't have a play card up right now. I'm extremely interested for a team that doesn't throw the football a whole lot. With 91 seconds, what do you have on the sheet right now?
All right, Tadlock lined up directly behind Van Otterloo. Give it to Frederick, and he works off the right side, gain of 5 yards. He is wrapped up there by number 21 for the Trojans. That's number Caden Hall, the senior.
And I feel like Beresford is okay with just letting this one go to halftime, knowing you get the football to start the second half. Of course, end of game, different scenario. But right now, they are certainly in no hurry to make something happen.
Watchdogs are going to call, I believe that's an official's timeout.
Yeah.
The official did kind of tap his own chest.
Oh.
We do have an injury. We've got a player down.
I don't know if this is his injury or if we got a cramp.
That could possibly be a cramp. He's kind of grabbing his hamstring there. We'll go to a quick break. We'll be right back with more football action.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
All right, welcome back to West Central High School. That was Peyton Friedrich that was walked off the field just a little gingerly, kind of working the back. It looked like maybe a hamstring, whether he just cramped up a little bit. We'll see here in the next game, or the next half, it appears. He is talking to the training staff on the far sideline. You can see him kind of standing there picking his leg up. I think he's going to be okay. Van Otterloo kind of rolled out, scrambled a little bit, looked for his receiver, got a little dangerous there, right across the middle of the field. It's going to be 3rd and 5 here for the Watchdogs.
Talk about that hamstring more here just after this play.
Ben Otterloo under center. Get that out to Stennen on the left side. First down. He's going to get out of bounds at the 45-yard line, 43-yard line. Gets the clock stock, 45 seconds. We've got some excitement over in the student section on the far side of the field.
Going back to the hamstring for Frederick, dealing with my own hamstring injuries during my high school career, that's something that's just going to linger with you for the rest of this football game. You can do as much as you can, whether it's a cramp or if it's some type of injury, just to try to massage it loose as much as possible. But it is going to be some type of lingering pain that you probably won't be able to go 100% if it is something that is really bothering him right now for the rest of the game.
He did just pull the helmet on over his head on the far side of the field. 45 seconds left, 1st and 10, Watchdog 43-yard line. Van Otterloo, quick dive, nothing there for Tadlock. He bounces it outside. He's got a little room, working off the left side and gets out of bounds after a first down. Into West Central territory.
Pickup of 12 yards. As you said it was busted up the middle. He even put his head down at one moment but picked it back up, saw that there was some space along that far sideline, and two great heads-up awareness plays by the Watchdogs to get out of bounds. They still have all 3 timeouts remaining.
So does that concept within the coaching staff change a little bit? Now we're on the other half of the field, 38 seconds left. Do we start conserving time a little more?
Yeah, now you're going for touchdown.
Van Otterloo, play-action pass, rolls out. Nobody's there. He throws it just to get rid of it. The receiver, that is Tadlock. He was well covered over there by number 8, Chet Sarda. Just got rid of it wisely. Stop the clock. Don't take the sack.
Yeah, it seemed like they came out, though, with that mentality of we're going to run the football, see how it goes. Okay, we really didn't get anything out of it. We're just going to be okay. Then all of a sudden 2 big plays come along. And, yeah, once you get across that 50 with 32 seconds, all 3 timeouts, I'd like to just keep running the football. I mean, you don't have to get out of bounds. It's okay to use a couple of those timeouts right now.
Yeah, true. With some timeouts, you can work the middle of the field yet, with the run game even, and I guess that is what they tried to do with Tadlock before he bounced the last one. Tadlock is split out in that slot on the left side. Van Otterloo in the gun all by himself, looking pass, steps up. He's got time. He's running. That's Van Otterloo. Going to work to the middle of the field. He is hit and then ran out of bounds. First down, Watchdogs are at the West Central 34-yard line, 33-yard line, 24 seconds on the clock.
All right, Tate's not quite a Zerple there. I'd rather see him just conserve taking the hit and going out of bounds. I like the effort. I like him trying to make a play. But Tate, we still need you offensively and defensively. Go out of bounds. Just stop the clock.
Ben Otterloo gets the first down, plus a little extra. Defender, again, Sarda was there. Ben Otterloo took one to him and then did work, bounce off and get out of bounds at that point. Ben Otterloo in the gun. Again, 3 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Pressure is coming. He quick gets rid of it. Dogs are excited. It got into my blind spot, Heath. What happened there? We've still got a receiver down.
Yeah, that was Seth James who just came up with the big catch right over the middle. And as he caught it, he came down and took a pop right to it looked like the hip. Not quite for sure exactly what he's reaching for, but you reference it back to the very first kickoff, very first play of the game. He went down with an injury. He was able to come back. You're starting to think maybe he might have re-aggravated that injury from earlier. It's his second catch, his first catch of the night.
First down for the Watchdogs, 18 seconds on the clock. He's not moving much at this moment, so let's just do a quick commercial break. We'll come back with more football action.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Classics Lounge in downtown Beresford is your destination for fun with darts, pool, and to catch all the action no matter what game it is. The colder season is here. Keep your perfect golf swing by using the indoor golf simulator. From the gridiron to the court, Classics is your spot to catch all activities of Watchdogs Live. Ready to cool off with a cold one? Classics Lounge is always ready to serve them up with a bite to eat too. That's Classics Lounge in downtown Beresford.
The Bridges at Beresford is the best 9-hole course in the area. You know that. The Bridges at Beresford is home to much more.
But sometimes that doesn't feel possible. But if you have hope, you have everything. Rising Hope Counseling provides high-quality mental health services with locations across South Dakota. Additionally, by providing telehealth, we ensure South Dakota's rural residents have access to high-quality mental health services. Our team lives and works in your communities, and we understand the unique challenges we face. Schedule an appointment by phone or online today. Rising Hope Counseling, offering hope, healing, and change.
Rising Hope Counseling. We will join you on your journey and walk with you to relieve your suffering and begin a journey of healing and joy. Therapy is an opportunity to learn more about yourself. Everyone has unique strengths. They'll find yours and give you the tools to empower those strengths and enhance your quality of life. Rising Hope Counseling. Tough moment there for the Dogs, Heath. Seth James got dinged early in the game. That, I believe, was the first kickoff from the Trojans. Came back in, had a couple key plays. We referenced him. Huge catch across the middle, but he took a hit, and it took quite a while to get him back up again.
By the way, Beresford does just use a timeout here to make sure the clock doesn't keep moving.
Yeah, good point. As the official...
In the option now that technically... they maybe didn't meet or they want to talk things over in this type of level of high school, they're going to grant that timeout fully. So, yes, we did just have an extended break there, but they're going to say you can still use more time if you would like. But, yeah, you talk about Seth James as well. Not quite for sure the extent of the injury. All we know is that he got up slowly. We wish him nothing but the best, and it just scary moments. Pass right over the middle. He came down with the ball cleanly and then just wasn't able to get up there from there.
All right, West Central 14, Beresford 7, 18 seconds on the clock. Watchdogs have the ball on the West Central, looks like about the 16 or 17-yard line. Coaching staff, again, Arlen Licken is standing right next to us through the glass. He and Coach Owen Ronaldo are dialing something up here with 18 seconds. Knowing they got to try to get this thing in and knot it up here before half.
Yeah, he's got about 10 different colors of columns currently. I'm not for sure what color or what column he is looking at right now, but he's starting to pull something up close to his face, and it looks like, again, Tate's going to be by himself in shotgun formation.
Yeah, I will tell you, Heath, it was the gray column. I could see he had his thumb on the gray column of plays. Van Otterloo scrambles, can't quite get away. We're going to need another timeout, and quickly Coach Ebert was running down the sideline taking that timeout. Redesign Antiques in historic downtown Beresford. Redesign Antique is your place for antiques. With something for the old and young, check them out on Facebook for full details, or better yet, stop by and get your... They'd rather let the work and loyal customers speak for them. Read the reviews from your Beresford, South Dakota neighbors to see how they meet or exceed customer expectations. Take a look at the auto repair services they offer, such as oil changes or preventive maintenance. Find more at eastwayautoservice.com.
It's been great to get to know all the advertisers as well. Spent my past few weeks helping out with them. A great community that Beresford has.
Yeah, from Eastway, Mitch, a little bit of a health scare this last week here, and we hope Mitch and the family's listening in. Mitch, we wish you the best. Appreciate your support. A pass across the middle. That is complete. Was that Frederick? Yeah, that was Frederick. For Ebert is all the way out to the numbers, trying to get that timeout with this those essential seconds on the clock. 6 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, and he got the timeout in time. Another pickup of 9 yards. And this is that spot, 6 seconds. Now, you help me out here. Does Beresford have a kicking game?
We could kick from that position and put it through and take the field goal. I've got to believe they've got a little something bigger on their mind here.
Yeah, and I agree. Go for the touchdown here. You got to make it quick, but go for the touchdown. And it just makes it so interesting because you look at some different levels of high school, and you go down to 9-man. It's always 2-point conversions. With Vermillion, they had a great kicker who could put one in from 60 yards out. So, I mean, it just kind of all depends. You never really know what kind of options is out there.
Yeah, from this distance, the Watchdogs could kick and put one through. We saw, I believe it was Steen earlier that did the kicking for the Watchdogs in the extra point attempt. We've seen that duty kind of switch throughout the year. All right, Van Otterloo bringing the squad out. I'm looking over the coach's shoulders here. He's got Tadlock in the backfield. Van Otterloo under center, play action. Gets it out to Stenning quick off the left side.
He reached for it.
No signal yet. Watchdogs are jumping up and down. I'm not seeing the far official.
Put up the hands and indicate a touchdown.
Okay, so we're all holding our breath. Kicking the extra point is number 22, Colton Steen, the sophomore. Van Otterloo will be holding this attempt. Kick is up and good. What a huge minute and what was that, Heath? Minute and a half, minute 50-some seconds?
91 seconds. I'm watching the instant replay here, and it's very close. And, again, I'm watching all the officials. It's the near official. I'm looking at the pylon. He just goes and grabs the football. It never indicates a once.
I think he quickly, as he's backing up, throws his arms in the air, but he put them back down as fast as he put them up. And he's against the home crowd and the home coaches over there. So, what an incredible run there by the Dogs. Big play by Stenning, broke it out to the left side. Followed that up by the Tadlock dive that went nowhere, and then he bumped it out to the left side. And then Van Otterloo was scrambling at one point. He has to break things loose and work on that left or far side. And before you know it, they're in range, and Seth James catches a huge play going across the middle, takes the pop. Watchdogs punch it in. That's a huge drive for the Watchdogs.
And they just go all against the analytics of football. 91 seconds. You got 3 timeouts. Work it down the field. Make some plays happen. When I say work it down the field, I'm talking about, quick wide receiver screens. And maybe if you're feeling extremely confident, you maybe run it once just to see what the defense gives you. But here comes Beresford. And again, we talk about a 91-second drive that results in a touchdown. Technically, it's about a minute drive because you throw out the first play, right? They ran the football. Yeah. They picked up 3 yards. They said, all right, well, that's all there is. Oh, we have an injury. Okay, I guess we get back to the line of scrimmage. Let's put something outside. All of a sudden, you pick it up 10 yards. You stop the clock going out of bounds, and that just changed the whole entire dynamic. Beresford Watchdogs, whether it's been 91 seconds remaining or 98 yards to go, right now they've shown sparks. And I reference back to when in this pregame show, I said you can't lose it or you can't win it in the first quarter, but you sure can lose it. I think a lot more people expected this to be like, pat on the back. Thanks for coming, Watchdogs. You guys had a great run. Take nothing away from it. West Central's on to the finals. They'll see whoever they play, Del Rapids, Sioux Falls Christian. I think people right now are looking around the state of South Dakota going 14-14 at half. How do I watch this game?
Yeah, well, they watch it by logging into watchdogs.live is how they get to it. But, they've got to just feel tremendous here. Pinned twice, deep in their own territory. That one initial kickoff that just kind of went over three people's heads, thought maybe it was going to go into the end zone for a touchback. It didn't. It landed on about the 2-yard line. Watchdogs do end up punting on that series. But the next one, the punt from Zerpel, puts it on about the 1 or 2 yard line. Watchdogs march that one down and do get the first score. And then this one right before half. And we shouldn't be surprised as we've watched enough Watchdog football this year. This team has no quit in them.
Has no quit in them. And I said it at pregame. I said if you're going to have success, you need multiple guys, not someone big, multiple guys to get 70 yards here. And I look down at my stats. You put Tate with his running game and his passing game together, he's at 81 yards. You got Jack Stennon running the football for 45 yards. You got Jackson Tadlock for 56 yards. I mean, just right there, you have the three guys at the numbers that you want to be at, and that makes it impossible to stop because you go, who is going to get the football? Who's going to make the play downfield? With West Central, they're not one-dimensional, but you know it starts with Justin Zerpel. And if you can shut down Justin Zerpel, you can start to kind of guess what the next step is going to be. Beresford right now, 14-14, but certainly if you're West Central, you go to halftime still scratching your head and saying, all right, I feel like we kind of figured these guys out, but at the same time, I feel like I'm just watching film again. Like, I see all this. I know what they're capable of doing, yet I haven't figured out the answer to stopping it. I like where the Watchdogs are at, especially getting the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, I really felt pregame that between the tackles is where we were really going to get things done. And maybe that's credit to the West Central Trojans and their scouting and say, you're not going to beat us with what you normally do.
Yeah.
We've seen a little bit more success from the Watchdogs bumping it outside or maybe a little misdirection and kicking it outside, a quick pitch outside. And that's not where we're really seeing our success leading up to this. So,
yeah, you talk about West Central. I'm look back at that first quarter. I saw different times that the defensive tackles just crashed in right away, just went straight to the ground, knowing they were sacrificing bodies, as you mentioned, just not to let anything open up in the middle, taking themselves out of the play. And great job by Arlen Lickness and the crew up here in the broadcast booth next to us, seeing that and saying, all right, let's bounce to the outside. Let's make something happen there.
All right, Heath. Watchdogs will get the ball to start this third quarter. What do you think we see out of Coach Lickness and Coach Owen Renaud on the offensive side?
I think we get back to more traditional Beresford football, right? 91 seconds we scored. We scored, 2-3 minutes on that one drive. Went 98 yards, 6 plays. I mean, it was very, very quick. Mm-hmm. It seems like that's been the one downside for the Beresford Watchdogs is they actually haven't controlled tempo yet tonight. They have not controlled possession of this game. They've gotten their touchdowns at big moments in small amount of time. That second half, they really need to start dictating the tempo and keep out the defense. Don't let the offense out there. This certainly is a second half. You got to get your legs back underneath you for Beresford because West Central, they don't have to worry about that with, everyone going just one way. So what I would look for Beresford in this second half, get back to traditional Beresford Watchdogs, see if they can't take up 6 minutes that first possession of the second half and try to score.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this second half. Again, I just want to recognize our production crew helping us out tonight. Renee James, Gavin Stewart, Easton Boom, and Hunter Penn kind of working the cameras and the production side on the computers. We appreciate all their work. You're listening to Jared Olson and Heath Nimke bringing you this 11A semifinal matchup between the Beresford Watchdogs and the West Central Trojans. This is the ticket to get into the Dakota Dome. We'll be back with more action in the second half. There's about 8:45 left on the clock plus another 3 minutes. We'll see you back in about 11 or 12 minutes.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace is the only hardware retailer that carries Benjamin Moore paint at over 3,800 stores. With Benjamin Moore's premium quality, you can be confident you're getting the best. You can buy in store or order what you need online for curbside pickup or delivery. When you want the best, Benjamin Moore paint from Ace at participating stores.
Find Benjamin Moore paint and other great products at your locally owned Olson's Ace Hardware in Beresford.
Fiesta Foods in Beresford is a family-owned store that offers a convenient one-stop shop where you can find everything you need, from the everyday essentials to specialty items from around the world. Find their weekly ad on their website. Fiesta Foods also has the best selection of cut meats in their deli department, fresh bakery, and fresh produce. And no matter the season or holiday, Fiesta Foods has it all right there in store. Open 7 days a week. Fiesta Foods is your one-stop store right in the hometown of Beresford.
Customer service is more than just a word. It's what Jensen Insurance Agency and Auto Owners Insurance does every day.
We have more companies than most agencies in town. We're able to find a competitive market for each family. We're able to farm that out, quote it with each of our carriers, including Auto Owners Insurance, of course, and see where it best fits.
In Sioux Falls, Beresford, and Elk Point, go to jensenagencyonline.com to find out more. Jensen Insurance Agency, building relationships since 1944.
At Northern State University, your future starts with an affordable education that's personalized for you. Experience hands-on learning guided by world-class supportive faculty. You'll also enjoy a full campus life with opportunities to choose from numerous student activities and events, all in a safe, welcoming community. At Northern, you'll find a college that's right for you, a place to belong. Your future starts here. Unleash your potential at Northern.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Classics Lounge in downtown Beresford is your destination for fun with darts, pool, and to catch all the action no matter what game it is. The colder season is here. Keep your perfect golf swing by using the indoor golf simulator. From the gridiron to the court, Classics is your spot to catch all activities of Watchdogs Live. Ready to cool off with a cold one? Classics Lounge is always ready to serve them up with a bite to eat too. That's Classics Lounge in downtown Beresford.
The Bridges at Beresford is the best 9-hole course in the area. You know that. The Bridges at Beresford is home to much more, including, starting next Thursday, the Thursday night special returns for the colder season. Food specials from 5 to 9. There's also the Friday happy hour for appetizers and money off adult beverages. Need room for a holiday party? There's plenty at Bridges of Beresford. Call today or find out the full details at beresfordbridges.com.
We all want to be happy, but sometimes that doesn't feel possible. But if you have hope, you have everything. Rising Hope Counseling provides high-quality mental health services with locations across South Dakota. Additionally, by providing telehealth, we ensure South Dakota's rural residents have access to high-quality mental health services. Our team lives and works in your communities, and we understand the unique challenges we face. Schedule an appointment by phone or online today. Rising Hope Counseling, offering hope, healing, and change.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace is the only hardware retailer that carries Benjamin Moore paint at over 3,800 stores. With Benjamin Moore's premium quality, you can be confident you're getting the best. You can buy in store or order what you need online for curbside pickup or delivery. When you want the best, Benjamin Moore paint from Ace at participating stores.
Find Benjamin Moore paint and other great products at your locally owned Olson's Ace Hardware in Beresford.
Fiesta Foods in Beresford is a family-owned store that offers a convenient one-stop shop where you can find everything you need. From the everyday essentials to specialty items from around the world. Find their weekly ad on their website. Fiesta Foods also has the best selection of cut meats in their deli department, fresh bakery, and fresh produce. And no matter the season or holiday, Fiesta Foods has it all right there in store. Open 7 days a week. Fiesta Foods is your one-stop store right in the hometown of Beresford.
Customer service is more than just a word. It's what Jensen Insurance Agency and Auto Owners Insurance does every day.
We have more companies than most agencies in town. We're able to find a competitive market for each family. We're able to farm that out, quote it with each of our carriers, including Auto Owners Insurance, of course, and see where it best fits.
In Sioux Falls, Beresford, and Elk Point, go to jensenagencyonline.com to find out more. Jensen Insurance Agency, building relationships since 1944.
At Northern State University, your future starts with an affordable education that's personalized for you. Experience hands-on learning guided by world-class supportive faculty. You'll also enjoy a full campus life with opportunities to choose from numerous student activities and events, all in a safe, welcoming community. At Northern, you'll find a college that's right for you, a place to belong. Your future starts here. Unleash your potential at Northern.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Bird Sports Bar and Grill. Daily special, hot food, cold drinks, and a fun and inviting atmosphere. Where else to be at than Bird's in Beresford? Whether it's rallying together to cheer on the Watchdogs from far or just ready to great meal, Bird's has you covered. Plus, like them on Facebook to find out their daily specials or give them a call today. Beresford Chiropractic and Massage by Sherry. Everyday adjustment are important to keep the body healthy and strong and feeling young. At Beresford Chiropractic, they can take care of your everyday pains and get you readjusted and feeling great again. And if you need a little loosening up, Massage by Sherry can help melt the daily stress away, found right there inside at Beresford Chiropractic. Heath, they put 2:40 back on the clock here. What are you kind of thinking here? What are you feeling?
Feeling good. I'm feeling extremely good. This is a game that, again, going into it, it seemed like it was played against Beresford. And what I mean by that is you look at just this team of West Central. I'm not talking about their skill. I'm just talking about the manpower that they're capable of and what they've done all season long. And it felt like there was this really good chance that West Central could pull away. But I think there's several different factors that you maybe don't think about as a person. One of those is the culture that Beresford has built this year and how much these seniors have changed since sophomores, how bad they want it. You can never measure the heart of a champion, they would say. You can even add in factors, and I've seen this recently with other coaching staffs that have had success, is when you're ready to rebuild something you go grab coaches around you that have won before, and I look just across the window to you and see Arlen Lickness. How do you even calculate someone like him into your squad? Beresford has done an amazing job in this first half, and right now, I mean, this is going into the third round of a boxers match, and you would come out and say both competitors are bloody right now, and this is still anyone's game.
Heath, I had an opportunity this summer, and I'll call it an opportunity. The football team was going to a little team camp. It was just two teams together. It was McCook Central Montrose and Beresford. We traveled to McCook Central, or traveled to Salem for a couple days, and I drove the team on one of those days, and I thought it would be kind of one of those, hey, it's middle of summer, we're going to go kind of put in some plays, a little bit of offense, and there was a business tone when they stepped on that field for a summer kind of team camp, I guess if you want to call it that, and it was very clear this team was talking business in July.
And that's amazing to hear, and that is what it takes, is knowing that every single time you get a chance to put on the chin strap and tighten it up, that it's always a business trip, no matter what time of year it is, whether it's late November or early November, I guess, trying to play for a state championship, or it's the hottest days of the summer, that you're treating that like business, knowing what is out there on the line in the end for those who work the hardest.
Yeah, I really felt the tone was set at that point, that the seniors and Coach Ebert and the other coaching staff there that day, it was very clear this is a business trip. And we're going to see what kind of business we can get done here to start off the second half. Watchdogs will get the ball. We got a fresh 12 minutes on the clock, third period. Tie score, West Central 14, Beresford 14. And the Trojans will be kicking off, and doing the kicking duties is their extra point kicker as well. And her name is slipping me right offhand here. I can't find her number.
Campbell,
there you go. Campbell Fisher will be kicking off for the Trojans. Pretty good kick. It's going to be fielded by Valder on the 15th. They're going to do the reverse. That's Stennon working off the left side, and he does bring it all the way back out to the 40-yard line. So great return. Valder catches it. Stennon sneaks around behind him. They have faked and done the reverse multiple times, kind of been an all-year thing. And this time they do run the reverse, and Stennon brings it out to the 42-yard line. 1st and 10 Watchdogs.
A reminder as well, if you haven't spread the news, make sure you spread that link out there with Watchdogs Live, the YouTube link as well. If you have some friends or family that aren't tuning in, make sure you get them tuned in. And buckle up. This is going to be an exciting second half.
Van Otterloo under center. Going to give it to Stennon off the left side. They're going to work off that left tackle. He is wrapped up there by number 11. Dalton Mulder, and he does throw Stennon back after stopping him after a gain of about 1.5. Second and a long 8 for the Dogs.
Some fans might be wondering for the Watchdogs, hearing whistles, and all of a sudden Jack's throwing down late, but it's the progress of the football play, nothing you can really just do to stop a guy, and that kind of midst of what he's trying to tackle there, that's why you don't see a penalty flag.
Scoreboard shows it 2nd and 9 for the Dogs. We'll call it 2nd and 9 as well then. Van Otterloo under center. Pulling guard here. We've got lead blocker Stennon out to the left. Big blocker. That was number 84. We referenced him earlier. That's Joseph Sharp, and he has not seen a lot of action this year, but stepping in tonight on a couple key moments when needed. Huge block in that, I believe it was that first drive where we scored right in front of us. And now they had Sharp pulling from the right side all the way around the left side, lead blocker.
Next man up mentality for the Beresford Watchdogs, with James going down with that injury. Greatly block and great little reverse back around to Jack Stennon. This time they're going to come to the near
Frederick.
side. picking up a nice 3 yards. So go one way and come back the same exact play, but this time run it with Peyton, who's been held in check. His third carry, 10 yards for him tonight.
Yeah, Frederick has not gotten going yet. He did kind of have that one injury timeout with the hamstring. Let's hope it was nothing major. He looked pretty good running right there.
Yeah, and when it comes to those type of hamstring injuries I mentioned, if it's just tight, it's going to hurt to run. But this is semifinal football. You're not going to take yourself out.
All right, 2nd and 6 for the Watchdogs. Van Adderloo under center, gives it to Tadlock. He's taking some tacklers with him. Gain of about 4. It's going to bring up a third short down here. 3rd and about 2 for the Dogs.
And this is just the offensive line that's getting out, making big blocks. And right now, West Central is just confused on what is going on. It's by the time they see who has the football, it's already 3 yards downfield, a very manageable 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, I like the Dogs mixing it up here. We pitched out to the left side. We kind of countered back to the right side, and there's just a dive to Tadlock. The defenders are not ready. They're bouncing all over. Tadlock up the middle. They were not ready for that, and Tadlock took advantage of it.
An even better call by Coach Ebert and Coach Lickness. Don't mess around. Don't make anything fancy. It's 3rd down and 2. You're into plus territory. If you don't get it, it's going to be a manageable 4th down. They run it right down the heart of the Trojans, pick up 5 yards, and again, we talked about at halftime, this opening drive, score and manipulate the clock in your favor, exactly what the Watchdogs are doing.
All right, the Trojan defenders are packing it in tight. Nose tackle, A-gaps plugged. They're going to give it to Tadlock off the right side. He is wrapped up by number 10 that time. Not much of a gain. Wyatt Nielsen, the senior, no gain on the play.
Now watch out for the PA here. This is where when you start getting the guys biting up inside the box, they're bringing the house, trying to stop the run. This is when you want to go to the play action if you're the Watchdogs.
Yeah, let's see what Van Otterloo does here. Again, over to the sideline, gets the play from Coach Owen Ronaldo. Back in the huddle. They break out of that. Left guard, that's Shirk, I believe. Landon Shirk talking to Van Otterloo. He pulls out to the left side. That's Landon Shirk leading the charge. Huge block and kicked out by Frederick and cut up by, Frederick is still running the defender all the way over to the coaches on the sideline.
Usually when you see your guard turn around and say, what's the play? It's not going to work out. He got out on the pull. I think Van Otterloo just like, you're pulling to the left. Go have some fun. Lays the huge pancake block. My goodness.
Landon Shirk, senior, turns around on the line of scrimmage, says something to Van Otterloo. We're keeping an eye on him, obviously, because of that. Shirk from his left guard position pulls left, and then also on that kick out was Frederick just annihilated the defender out there and took him all the way over to the coaching staff.
So I'm going to pitch to the outside to Tadlock. I think he's going to be a yard or so short. So 4th down and about 1, maybe 2.
Okay, they're putting 4th and 3 on the board. It's not 4th and 3. It's 4th and long 1, short 2.
Yeah.
Now they've switched it to 2 on the board.
I'd say 4th and a long 1 even.
7 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock here in the 3rd quarter. 4th and a long 1. Huge play for the Dogs on this opening drive in the 3rd quarter. Van Otterloo under center, snaps, gives it to Tadlock. It's reverse extending, cut it up. It's really close, and I think he's there, but it's really close.
Yeah, he might have taken a step too late of cutting it upfield, and I think he's going to be short.
Yeah, he is just short. I thought he was there, and then the official on the far sideline kind of trotted in. And Trojans send their offense out onto the field. So not the worst thing there from the Dogs. They looked pretty good on that opening drive in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, able to move the football downfield. Jack just has to cup that sooner, but waste about 5 minutes on that opening possession. Again, talked about controlling tempo, and that's exactly what they did to start this second half.
All right, let's see what Zerpel does here to start the 3rd quarter. Got a little motion, 2 backs. They're going to pitch it or hand it off out the left side. Arm tackle. Van Otterloo's chasing. He does get him brought down, but that's a 1st down for the West Central Trojans. And that's going to be on near their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, and great job by Crew, the wide receiver out there. They call him a tight end for the Trojans with the lead block, the wide receiver slot position. Just really opened the space outside for Jost to pick up 15 yards.
All right, 2 wide receivers right. Zerpel keeps it, fakes it, and keeps it. Grabbed by Stennin. Secondly brought down by Van Otterloo, but that's another first down for the Trojans. So motion right, they fake the handoff to the running back, number 20, Aiden Bartman, and Zerpel pulls it down and goes left with it.
A couple of Watchdogs were trying to go for the football in there as well on the pops, and that's something we saw Zerpel just kind of do, was switch the football 2 different times, going back and forth between his arms.
Flag here. False start against the Trojans, so time for the Watchdogs to step up here, regroup. They're going to get them in a 1st and 15 position. Time for a couple big stops here from the Dogs.
Yeah, they have been able to get some successful stops, the Watchdogs, when West Central has picked up penalties. The second time they've had a false start tonight.
2 receivers on the near side. Zerpel just comes to the left. He wanted to option it. He did cut it back, initially hit by Zach Bowden, then grabbed by a host of Watchdogs. I'm seeing Aaron Larson, Colton Steen, Landon Shirk coming out of there. Gain of a couple will bring up 2nd and 12 for the Trojans.
Just make sure you don't let the big pass play go downfield. I'm kind of looking to the near wide receiver on this side, kind of wondering who's going to come pick him up.
Bunch formation to the right. He's going to cut back. The defender stayed home. We've got a flag in the backfield. That was number 22, Colton Steen. He stayed home, but Zerpel's just so fast. But the Watchdogs were able to collapse, but a flag on the play. It is a holding call against the Trojans.
Oh.
Interesting position here.
I would decline.
Yeah, you could be at a 3rd and 10 scenario or a 2nd and 17.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to move it back.
10-yard penalty. It'll be a 2nd and 22.
Yeah, it's because it's spot foul as well, so that really moves it back.
2nd and about 24 then.
I guess now it becomes, though, an obvious passing situation here for West Central.
6 minutes on the clock, tied at 14. Motion there at a number 33. And they fling it out to him. Ball's loose.
Wow.
He caught that, I think. He grabbed it, and that ball popped in the air. It was a little motion from Jesse Jost. Little swing out there is a little screen. He's hit by one of the defenders, and that thing pops in the air, and another Trojan was out there, and it just landed in his arms.
Yeah, that was Ferris. I'm watching it here on the replay, and just Jost takes the pop, and Ferris just happened to turn around at the time, and he came up with the catch. That was magical there.
Big luck for the Trojans. They're again surveying the defense. Coaching staff is sending in the final play. Pass all the way. Van Otterloo, through Van Otterloo's hands, and then it hit the chest of the receiver as well and dropped through his hands. So Deuce Sherrard drops it after it goes through Van Otterloo's hands. Unbelievable.
Oh, I feel what Deuce just went through. I get my chance to play a little bit of rec football still on Wednesdays, and I had that same exact play. You expect the cornerback's going to get a piece of it. You don't know what's exactly going to happen. Next thing you know, it's right there in your chest, and just you drop it.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's tough. Like I said, it kind of nicked off of Van Otterloo's hand, so it did get deflected a little bit, but it did hit Deuce Sherrard right in the chest. That would have been a huge play for the Trojans. That was pass all the way. Zerpel was back. They did have a spy on him, so Colton Steen from his linebacker position was spying him. He didn't rush and chase him. He just held containment. Watchdogs brought some heat. Oh, that was fair caught by Shagrud. He can't run that after a fair catch signal.
Nope.
So, and he did going to get a flag here. So, fair caught it. It sailed. The ball sailed over his head. It was quite the spiraling punt. And he was going to fair catch it about the 10, 12, 13-yard line, somewhere in there. It did bounce and land at about the 2 or 3. He picked it up and started running with it at that point. 5 minutes on the clock. West Central 14, Beresford 14. The officials gather.
Yep.
Dogs start to huddle in their own end zone.
I don't know what the penalty is on there. You mentioned, you're right, you can't advance it, but it's not a penalty. It's just kind of one of those plays. It's like, oh, you made a mistake. You blow it dead as soon as he starts taking off and running.
Okay, now they've got a group of them together talking through it. He picks it up and puts it back in his pocket. We are going to maybe get a signal, preliminary signal here. Official is talking to the coach on the sideline. Is that a delay game penalty against the Dogs?
I'm not for sure.
It really maybe doesn't matter. We were on about the 1 or 2 or maybe on the 1 or the half-yard line now. Watchdogs need a little something, a little breathing room here deep into their own territory. And a quick dive. Going to get a few here, a couple for the Watchdogs. It's a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, that's exactly what you have to do. We've seen already, though, for the Beresford Watchdogs. 6 plays, 98 yards, and a touchdown. They're trying to duplicate that here again.
So the Dogs' opening drive to start this third quarter moved the ball pretty well, just couldn't quite finish it off. Went for it on 4th down, and Trojans moved the ball. They get themselves in a little bit of penalty trouble there and got themselves in a really nasty 4th down position. Punt the ball, and a great punt. Now let's see what the Watchdogs can do on their second possession here in the second half.
And the punting team has kind of let the Watchdogs down several different times tonight as well, at least returning punts.
Another dive. That one goes to Tadlock. He's got a little room. That's first down, Watchdogs.
But this is exactly, not precisely what we saw on the last time they had to go the full length of the field. But it's just that power running option of right up the middle, able to pick up 11 yards and a first down. And now the breathing room is there. Now the playbook becomes wide open again.
Yeah, 1st and 10 from their own 12-yard line. Certainly some different options, whether it's formation or plays. Trojans substituting a couple defensive switches, so they're bringing a different defensive package, obviously, at this point. Van Otterloo's under center, 1 wide receiver to the right. Gives it to Frederick up the middle, not much there. No gain on the play.
Yeah, just got right back to the line of scrimmage, as you mentioned, and Peyton Frederick, a tough night for that young man, as he just really hasn't been able to get going here in the football game tonight. Just 4 carries for 10 yards.
2nd and 10 from the Watchdog 11-yard line.
Watchdogs seem like they're taking a little bit more time. 3:06 remaining here in this third quarter.
Van Otterloo under center. Play action pass. I don't see anybody really open. He's going to have to tuck and run with it. He's going to try to make the most of it. Gain of a couple. It'll bring up 3rd down. I do like the play call there on a 2nd down and 10. Just couldn't quite find a receiver down the field. That was Frederick and Bowden both running routes down the field.
It seemed like Van Otterloo almost wanted to come more over to this near side when he took off in with the scramble, but I think he might have saw a little bit of space to the near side, but the official was almost in that way as well, that he had to bounce it back to that far side, and by the time he did that, the space collapsed on him. As mentioned, only picked up 3 yards.
Yeah, I think it was that same play we saw earlier where he just missed Tadlock rolling out to the right or near side. A lot of misdirection. That's Stennon. He was hit in the backfield. It's going to be loss of a couple. So 4th down for the Watchdogs. We're going to see the punting squad out here.
Oh, this drive had a promise when Tadlock was able to get 11 yards on 2nd down and long. And you mentioned that last play. Tate hands it off, able to get out, be part of the lead block again, but the running back just never falling with him. West Central, a huge defensive stand, though, on that drive.
Back for the Trojans was Jost, but the punt really doesn't go very far. It's going to be a net gain of about 15 yards. Trojans will be 1st and 10, and he's still walking. 1st and 10 from the Watchdog 25.
Well,
time for the defense to step up.
And it feels like special teams now starting to play a little bit of factor here in this third quarter. Good punts for West Central, mistakes in the punt returns, and just not the best to punt that time for the Watchdogs. Hate to have this all come down because of one or two bad punts.
1 minute, 37 seconds on the clock here in the third quarter. Zerpel hands it off. Finds some breathing room. Grabbed on the ankles by, that was Robert Watkins on the tackle. Carrying the ball for the Trojans is number 20, Aiden Bartman. Bartman goes for another first down. 1st and 10, Trojans from the Watchdog 14-yard line.
Well, we mentioned Watchdogs need to step up big here late in this third.
Pulling guard. Tackle is made by Bowden, but not before the Trojans pick up another 7 or so yards.
We're in that dual running back formation right now, as that time it was Jost on the carry. And we see now Jost come out and Aiden Bartman's back in.
Zerpel claps the hands. Snap goes to him. He's going to work off the right side. He's got some open space. This is trouble. Watchdogs just can't match his speed out in the open space. A little zig and a little zag. And he goes in to score from the, where are we at there? About the 12-yard, 13-yard line?
7-yard line. 7-yard line.
Okay. So West Central Trojans get on the board here in the third quarter. It's West Central 20, Beresford 14. Again, kicking so far tonight, doing a great job, is Campbell Fisher. And she sets up for this point after attempt. Kick is up and good, so it's West Central 21, Beresford 14. 42 seconds left here in the third quarter. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
That's crazy.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Wilbur Ellis. Since the beginning, Wilbur Ellis has prided itself on looking forward. This relentless vision helped us grow into a multi-billion-dollar portfolio of 4 businesses focused on providing the essentials for the world to thrive. It's this tradition of always staying ahead that will carry us into the future. Wilbur Ellis. All right, opportunity for the Watchdogs to kind of bounce back. This is what they've done all year. Maybe they give up a little bit, but they never get down. Stenin backs up. Does the reverse with Van Otterloo. Reverse with Valder. He's got a few blockers. He is eventually going to be run out of bounds on the Watchdog 34-yard line. So Watchdogs will get a pretty good start here to this drive from their own 35-yard line.
Yeah, with just under a minute now left to go in this third quarter, nothing changes when it comes to Beresford. Continue to control the tempo, go into this fourth quarter, put together a sustained drive, and come away with a score.
West Central 21, Beresford 14, 34 seconds on the clock. Time to run a play or two here, and then they'll just flop sides of the field, and we'll move to the fourth quarter. Frederick in the backfield with Van Otterloo. Tadlock is a receiver on the right side. There's a small bunch on the right side, including Tadlock, Bowden. Nothing there for the Dogs. Going to be a loss of about 4 yards.
One thing you can't have is a quick 3 and out. Don't want to give the Trojans any more momentum.
Clock is ticking. There's 18 seconds on the clock, 15. Van Otterloo just split away from Coach Owen Ronaldo. He's in the huddle calling the play. There's 7 seconds. I doubt they're going to get up and get this snapped in time. 4 seconds, 2, 1. They're going to go to the fourth quarter here. Fiesta Foods, in today's world, it's all about saving time. So why waste your money and time shopping their aisles and can't find what you're looking for? Shop local. Shop Fiesta Foods. For the holidays or just everyday essentials, you can find it all at your local grocery store, Fiesta Foods. All right, Heath, 2nd and 14 here. 12 minutes to go left in this game. Beresford 21, West Central 14. What are the seniors talking about over there, knowing this is their last transition, potentially, if they don't get a score? This is their last transition from quarter 3 to quarter 4, unless they get something done here.
You're not saying much.
You're not saying much.
You know what it is right now. You know your backs are up against the wall. Everyone has eyes out there. You know what the score is. You know there is 12 minutes. You're locked into what your task needs to be done. This is a family mentality. You're not saying much. Just put together one play at a time and mount this comeback with plenty of time as we begin the 4th.
I'm watching through my binoculars over in the student section. They're going wild over there. It's the traditional cheerleaders toss of packaged brownies up into the student section. Yeah, brownies being tossed in the student section, and a lot of excitement over there. Watchdogs are going to get it back about 4 yards here. Bring up a 3rd and 10 for the Dogs.
Think they can come over here and throw me a brownie?
I don't think we're going to get any treats tonight.
Ah, shucks.
All right, defensive package switch here for West Central, as they're probably looking at a 3rd and that's 11. They're going to expecting a passing down, so they're bringing in a few more DBs or more mobile linebackers.
And you almost want to say it's like an obvious passing situation for the Watchdogs, but they are not a team that likes to throw the football a lot.
Yeah, we've got Frederick talking to Van Otterloo in the backfield. Tadlock in the fullback position, motion there by Stennon. It's a rollout. Goblish. Oh, it was in his hands. Great coverage there by the defender. That was number 24 for the Trojans, Jude Jardine. And I said maybe we get it to him this game, and he just couldn't quite pull it in.
Give a lot of credit to Jude there. He waited until Goldbrich made contact with the football and does exactly what he needs to, just gets his hand stuck right up in there with the wide receivers and where the ball is making contact with the hands to break that up. Heads-up awareness, great play there by the Trojans.
Jake Goblish could not quite pull it in, but he does punt this one. It is fielded in the air by the Trojans. Gain of about 5 on the return. Be Trojans 1st and 10 from their own 43-yard line. Let's go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with more football action.
Classics Lounge in downtown Beresford is your destination for fun with darts, pool, and to catch all the action no matter what game it is. The colder season is here. Keep your perfect golf swing by using the indoor golf simulator. From the gridiron to the court, Classics is your spot to catch all activities of Watchdogs Live. Ready to cool off with a cold one? Classics Lounge is always ready to serve them up with a bite to eat too. That's Classics Lounge in downtown Beresford.
Great defense there from the Watchdogs. Initial contact. That's Mitch Shagru. Excuse me. I knew I was going to do that eventually sometime tonight. Call him by his dad's name. Michael Shagrud on the defense. Got the initial stop against the running back. I believe that was a Bartman carrying the ball. And then the rest of the defense came and cleaned it up.
These broadcasters, isn't that the job there, Jared, to make sure you have all the names down, everything's right? Come
when
on.
you're around long enough and you start to know people's parents and then the kids, and you just knew it was going to slip. Pitch forward, initial contact by Bowden, but the back does carry it another 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, it's that little forward pass as they went to Crew again, the junior wide receiver. As you mentioned, kind of looked like he was going to be bottled up at the line of scrimmage, but was able to break free for about 7 yards and make it a very manageable 3rd down for West Central.
3rd and 3 from the West Central, 49 and a half. They're right on near midfield. Big third down. Watchdogs can get a stop. Maybe they do force the Trojans into punting at midfield.
I would say so. It's going to be a Zerpel keeper, though.
Zerpel does keep it. Tadlock forces him back, but he gets free. Ooh, I believe he's short of the first down. He is short of the first down. Tadlock had him dead to rights.
That's what I'm talking about. You think you just have him. You lost the 4 yards. Here we go. They have to punt it away. Next thing you know, he's just breaking free. Luckily, the Watchdogs able to keep him contained.
Woofta. That was...
They're going to punt it.
Yeah, they are backing Zerpel up.
No.
10, 12. No, here he comes up. He's back up about the 6 yards from the ball now. A lot of look and wondering here. Looking at the wristbands, 9:26 on the clock. Zerpel is in the gun. They're going for it. 4th and 1.5.
Back officials counting down here. They got seconds. They get off
Zerpel
just in time.
again. He gets the first down. He's going to go wrapped up by Van Otterloo, but huge gain. Justin Zerpel, unbelievable.
Yeah, pickup of 22 yards. It was kind of a broken play for everyone, just trying to get on the same page of what was going to happen next. And Zerpel able to just take it right up the middle and get a huge first down for West Central.
Okay, 9:01 on the clock. Clock is running, now below 9 minutes. Plenty of time here for the Watchdogs. Just need to get a defensive stop and get the ball back in their hands without giving up a score. That one does get handed off, breaks a tackle. Gain of about 9 on the play for the Trojans to bring up 2nd and 1.
Just need to keep attacking the football. If you're that second man, third man in for the Watchdogs coming in for the tackle, attack the football first. Try to force a turnover if you can. That's been something we've seen extremely great for both teams tonight is no turnovers yet.
Yeah, they've taken care of the ball. That is a gain of 8. It'll bring up 2nd and 2. Zerpel just immediately takes off forward. He is hit by Stenin and Robert Watkins. Short gain, maybe a half a yard gain. It's going to bring up 3rd and 1 for the Trojans.
Justin Zerpel, by the way, 19 carries for 79 yards this evening and 2 touchdowns.
Third and 1, 7:50 on the clock. Straight dive, huge pile there. I see Aaron Larson, Robert Watkins, Landon Shirk, I believe, coming out of there.
Wow, I think they're going to actually mark him with a loss of a yard.
Unbelievable defensive stance from that Watchdog front 5. Just looking through my binoculars, kind of catch who's all there, but I see Shirk, Larson, Shirk. Big 4th down, 4th and 1. Going to roll out to the far side. He's looking back with the pass. We did not contain the backside. We stuffed the play action dive. Zerpel went to roll out to the near side of the field, which is the wide side of the field. We had that contained. He just did a about face and spun over to the far side of the field. Took it for a first down plus. And we've got a Trojan. We've got a Trojan down on the far side of the field.
Is this Justin? And the way West Central indicated that they were waving hands quickly. I don't see Justin in the huddle right now.
One player down, the Beresford and ambulance crew, they were standing on that far side. So the Beresford trainers and now the athletic trainers from both teams are over there.
Jared, I don't see Zerpel whatsoever in that huddle. That's got to be Zerpel down.
He is getting up now, so there's a little bit of movement. They do have him sat up.
His helmet is off, though. He doesn't have his helmet on currently.
Yeah, that is correct. They are talking to him. He's going to pop up, take a hand. He's going to pop up, but he will come out of the game for a play here.
He's walking off with some swagger. It looks like he's going to be okay.
Yeah, talking to the official. He's coming off okay, carrying his own helmet. I think we'll see him out for a play and probably right back in.
Yep, I think so as well.
Giving a big 5 to his teammates as he walks by. 7:09 on the clock. West Central 21, Beresford 14. 7:09. First and goal from the 6? Where are we at here?
Yeah.
We are on the 6-yard line. So 1st and goal from the 6-yard line.
And now they bring in backup quarterback who's actually gotten plenty of playing time. Cade Vanderweerd is now out there.
He is going to throw the ball. Throwing it up high to Owen Heath. And defending over there is that Van Otterloo? Who we got over there?
Except that could be, was that?
No, that was Goblish. Goblish was on the coverage over there. Jump ball. Jake was able to break it up, but they were just going to toss it with the backup quarterback in. And just toss it up to Owen Heath in the end zone.
I think they're actually just going to let this with second down and goal. I think they're going to let this go with West Central right now and the current quarterback, because right now Zerpel is over here at the near training table. He looks like he's absolutely fine. He's going currently through concussion protocol.
Yeah, they're having him follow a finger and some motions. That time the handoff was to Jesse Jost, and he slipped right after he received the ball. He was trying to cut a little bit. So loss of 1 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 7 now for the Trojans. Movement. That was the right guard or tackle. I believe it's the guard. Moved, and he just knew it as soon as he did it. Just a little flinch. They'll back this one up and replay the 3rd down. So now it's 3rd and goal from the 12-yard line.
I'm still watching them go through Justin here on the near training table. They're continuing to check him out. He just kind of walked a line there. He did look a little wobbly.
Okay, Trojans looking to the sideline, looking at their wristbands, still looking back to the sideline. 6:16 on the clock. The clock is counting. West Central 21, Beresford 14. Just a little over 6 minutes. We're going to double team out here on Owen Heath, and we're going to get a timeout from the Trojans, I believe. There seemed to be just a little bit of confusion, and they're just going to take a timeout at this point. But they did have Owen Heath one-on-one out here on the near side, and right before the ball was snapped, they did send Michael Shagrud out there to double team him.
Yeah, and we talk about also the passing with Vanderwood. He's 21 of 25 for 247 yards, 3 touchdowns coming into this game. So he's more known as that throwing quarterback. They do trust in him. He's gotten plenty of playing time so far this season. So this isn't a new situation for the Trojans of wondering what's going on, how do they handle this situation. But, Campbell Fisher's been in the news, of course, as she's a girl playing football as a kicker. She was phenomenal for the Trojans this soccer season. I'm just not quite for sure how big of a leg she does have, because the Trojans are set up right now in that spot. If they want to kick a field goal, they would make it a 2-possession game.
Yeah, I would make it a 2-possession game right now from the 12. That would be a 29-yard field goal attempt. Little motion here out of the big jumbo package. They're going to pitch it out to the right. Sweeping Watchdogs, a cutback. He does get free. Shirk does finally wrap him up. They had him there for a loss of about 3, and he just broke free.
Now, who are they sending out there?
Yeah, that's the kicking squad. She's out there.
Well, it started like Zerpel started to run out there like he was going to kick the football.
Yeah, no, out on the field is number 35, Campbell Fisher. She is set up for a field goal attempt. The ball is on the 6, so this will be a 23-yard field goal attempt. It is in there. That's a 2-possession game at this point. It just snuck inside the left upright. Beresford is trailing 24-14, 5:28 left in this game. We'll go to a quick commercial break, come back to finish this thing up.
The Bridges at Beresford is the best 9-hole course in the area. You know that. The Bridges at Beresford is home to much more, including, starting next Thursday, the Thursday night special returns for the colder season. Food specials from 5 to 9. There's also the Friday happy hour for appetizers and money off adult beverages. Need room for a holiday party? There's plenty at Bridges of Beresford. Call today or find out the full details at beresfordbridges.com.
Olson's Ace Hardware. No matter the season, your local Olson's Ace Hardware has you covered. The colder months are here, and whether you are ready or not, you can be fully prepared when shopping at Olson's. And if the winter blues have you warm inside, get started with the next indoor project with Olson's. All right, Heath, we're going to have to see some offensive firepower now out of the Dogs with 5:28 left in this game, down 24-14.
Yeah, you're going to have to put together what they did in the last 91 seconds of that second half. And not only do you need that kind of movement from the Watchdogs, but you're going to need a big defensive stand and get the football back. And granted, all 3 timeouts still remaining, but you need to make those plays happen quickly.
Campbell Fisher did pop that one up a little bit. It was returned at the 20-yard line, bring it out to the 35. So 15-yard return from Valder. Watchdogs will start this thing out 1st and 10 from their own 36.
Well, you asked me earlier, what is that being said between the seniors right now in this type of moment? Starting to talk a little bit more about what you have to accomplish, and it is starting to creep in the back of your mind a little bit. You're paying attention to that clock as well. It's do or die time, it feels like, on this possession if they want to have a chance. By the way, just saw Justin Zerpel give the thumbs up to the coaching staff up here. He's going to return back into the game.
Okay, we have got a spread formation, a little motion here. We've got 4 receivers, Van Otterloo in the gun. He's got pressure. He finds the Shagrud. Got a block across the middle. Shagrud, the stiff arm. He's out across midfield into the 40-yard line, and the Watchdog faithful are excited on the far side of the field.
That play only happens because Tate isn't afraid. Tate stood in the pocket. He saw the pressure right in front of his eyes, but he kept his eyes downfield, took the hit, but still made a big completion. And a huge play for the Watchdogs.
All right, Watchdogs, again, early this season, ran a lot of spread offense, so this is not new to them. We just haven't done a lot of it. 3 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Van Otterloo in the gun all by himself. 5:13 on the clock. Pressure, blitz is coming. Flips it out to Stennen, and he just drops it. That should be an incomplete pass. I was going to say, the whistle finally came from the near official. That was a forward pass. It was incomplete. That should stop the clock. I don't know if they got it stopped where it needed to be, but they'll talk about that. It was just at 5:03, now 5:02.
The near official, I agree with him. It was an incomplete pass, but what are we doing here? We got to make that call immediately. That's one of those plays that all of a sudden something freaky happens, someone gets injured because you weren't quite for sure, and you let it go an extra 2 seconds.
All right, 3 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Van Otterloo surveys the field, looks left, claps his hands. Pressure's coming, blitz, throws it up. He and Shagrud were not on the same page in terms of the route that was run that time.
Yep, Van Otterloo wants to go deep. Shagrud started cutting back inside. He was double-teamed. Maybe not the best target to look at there. And luckily for Van Otterloo, it does fall incomplete, but now 3rd down and 10. Need a big, not a first down here, but some type of yards.
Yeah, this is 2 plays in a row. They've brought the linebackers, brought the pressure. Van Otterloo with that short across the middle, connected with Shagrud, a play ago. This time looking to go deep, and he did get hit after he threw the ball. We'll see what the coaches dial up. Again, 3 left, 2 right. Van Otterloo's going to keep it. He is unfortunately caught at the ankles. Looked like a designed run, and the defenders did a great job. He had maybe 1 shoelace before he broke that free. It's 4th and 11 from the West Central 43-yard line.
Yeah.
4 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock, and the clock is ticking.
What a great call there as well for the Watchdogs to see if they couldn't sneak something by, and it looked like it was going to work for some type of positive yards. And I wasn't for sure if that was Owen Heath or who else got in there on that tackle. That might have even been Carson Breens, but a great play by the Trojans.
Yeah, there was open space over there. That play was going to go for some yards. West Central takes a timeout here. 4 minutes and 17 seconds on the clock. 4th and 11. Watchdogs into West Central territory. Huge 4th down. This, hate to say it's the game because you never know when you can force a turnover or something crazy. But with 4 minutes left on the clock and down 2 scores, this is one they've got to look to kind of connect.
Yeah, I don't like to say that either, that it's going to be game. But the thing I think about is this second half, West Central has had those sustained drives. They have been able to work the clock even more. I talked about controlling tempo. We saw it in that very first drive. The Beresford Watchdogs were able to do that. But ever since then, it has gone back to the Trojans since they scored, and they've been the ones who have dictating tempo. So, yeah, 3 timeouts game, maybe it's a bold statement at this moment, but it certainly feels like it's at a huge disadvantage if you're the Watchdogs.
Farm Credit Services. American agriculture has grown to become the largest, most efficient, and productive food system in the world. But it remains a business of people. In everything they do, they work to become Ag's most valued financial partner. Find out how they are there for the farmer to help and grow at fcsamerica.com. All right, 3 left, 2 right. Venatorlu in the gun. Motion here from Frederick. 4 receivers to the left side. Venatorlu stands in there. He's got Stennon. He catches it. It's a first down. Huge play to Jack Stennon. We needed 11. We got about 13.
What a great job by Jack, climbing the ladder, pulling it down. Contact came immediately as he caught that as well. Just an all-around great play by Stennon and Van Otterloo to connect. And just like that, it's the jolt of life you needed.
We've got life in the Watchdogs offense. 3:53 on the clock. Clock is ticking. Trips left, Twins right. Van Otterloo, design draw. He's going to get out of bounds here. He does get out of bounds before he's gain of about, looking at the far official over there, gain of about 7. That really doesn't matter as much, but he got out of bounds, saved a little time.
And that's what we talked about on that 3rd down and 10 when they lost that yard. That was the exact same play, and that's such a huge play because now everything just becomes open once again in the playbook. It's 2nd down and 3. I would go for a throw here, right? You look something downfield. If it doesn't work, now it's 3rd down and 3. You can either run the football if you feel confident, or you can try to pass again.
2nd and 3, 3:43 on the clock, 4th quarter. West Central 24, Beresford 14. Beresford with 3 timeouts left. Van Otterloo claps his hands. 3 receivers right. He looks quick. That is blocked. Knocked down. I believe it was hit by number 3. Crew higher, I believe, but I'm not 100% sure. But nonetheless, Watchdogs 3rd down.
Something else that this 3rd down and 3 does bring up is you can look to the running backs or the quick wide receiver screens, knowing that those are only going to result in a few yards, but you can hit them quickly for just the 3 yards that you need.
Again, 3:40 on the clock. Clock is stopped on that incomplete pass. Van Otterloo brings the play in. Everybody's looking at their wristbands. We've got Goblish and Frederick on the near side. The ball is swinging. That's a sack. That's a loss of 7 yards, 8 yards on the play. Clock is ticking now, 3:29. Beresford is going to take a timeout. Crucial 4th down and 11 coming up here.
Yeah, Tate was just trying to get turned around. As you mentioned, that ball was just kind of flinging around there because he was trying to get position back to the right way of finding his guys downfield, and he just wanted to throw it away ultimately is what he was trying to do there. But by the time the Trojans had wrapped him up, had also kind of gotten his arms pinned against his body and not able to get it away. And if we said it was just do or die a moment ago, certainly is now.
Yeah, 3:27 on the clock. Watchdogs with 2 timeouts, down by 2 possessions. 4th and 11 from the West Central 30-yard line. If you've got a favorite 4th and 11 play, now's the time to bring it out.
Well, how about you open up the window? You might be able to ask the man who's making the play call right now.
All right, Coach Lickness right next to us talking to Coach Ronaldo, holding the play sheet. Watchdogs come out in formation here. 3 receivers on the far side of the field, 2 receivers near us. Low snap, quick throw, going to get a hook and ladder. We saw it earlier. It goes to Stennon. He's got a block downfield. He dives, and I think he's in. He's in. The hook and ladder. We see it again. Coach Lickness is giving 5s in the booth next to us.
Oh, my goodness.
Who would have thought the hook and ladder again?
You saw that go for a game winner. At the time, you didn't know it against Kent, but it worked for the game winner. And I don't know what kind of coach says, you know what, it worked once. How about we go back to the well and try it again? 30 yards later, strike from the Watchdogs.
That little grin and shrug of the shoulders on Coach Lickness's face was priceless a second ago. This booth of glass doors is awesome. All right, extra point attempt here for the Watchdogs. Kick is up and good. Oh, no good. Thought from this angle it looked good. It did sneak just to the left, I believe, then. And it's now a 4-point game. So West Central 24, Beresford 20. 3 minutes and 18 seconds on the clock. Beresford has 2 timeouts. Onside kick time.
Yeah, you can't. I thought I saw something weird, and watching back on the replay, you can't go over the long snapper. You have that's a free guy because he keeps his head down. You can't go over the long snapper. You make contact with him. It's a penalty. And I just saw a couple of Trojans down the ground. I thought they tried to hurdle, which of course is illegal as well in high school football. But they go over it. That should have been a penalty there, missed by the officials.
All right, this is the situation. Beresford kicking the ball off. They're down by 4 points. 3 minutes and 18 seconds on the clock. 2 timeouts in their pocket. West Central is bringing a team of guys up to the 50-yard line. We've got Owen Heath. We've got Crew Hire. We've got Dalton Mulder. We've got Ducherard. I mean, we've got receivers and running backs. There's 10 guys up between the 40 and the 50-yard line.
You think Tate's going to onside kick this? I mean, I feel like there's still time that you can kick this one deep. But, yeah, it looks like they're even.
Yeah, I was initially thinking onside. Give yourself a shot at it and nothing else. Oh, timeout West Central. I was initially thinking onside it. You know, either way, you're going to have to play some pretty stiff defense here. West Central's going to talk about it. We're 3:48. Heath, what are your thoughts? No timeouts for West Central now.
I'd kick it deep. No matter what, time's going to bleed off this clock. 2 timeouts.
With 10 of the receiving team between the 50 and the 40-yard line, 1 receiver deep, can you pooch it over them and speed past them and get to the ball?
You know what? It could possibly be. That's a good idea because we saw that the very first kickoff of the football game. I don't know if that was intended to, but you got to remember it went out of bounds. Beresford almost got to that first. By the way, that's Zerpel who is back there.
That is Zerpel back as the lone back, kind of back there to receive this, and he's about 15, 17 yards behind the other defensive back. So he's he is going to beat you to that ball when he's got to go 15 yards or 10 yards, and our guys got to go 30, I guess.
This is where the hands team is trying to match up with Beresford and how they're lining up. I don't know if I've ever seen
the Dogs have got Tadlock and Frederick on the right. I've got to believe this is going right, and it's a pop-up. Fair caught. Well coached from the West Central side. A pop-up that went 14 yards. Immediately, West Central guys started waving their arms. Fair catch, fair catch.
Yeah, and I think they also want a penalty because fair catch, contact's made. But at the same time, we saw it earlier, right? A penalty with advancing it forward. I mean, that's certainly good no call by the officials.
Yeah,
right?
I think at that point, let them play. There was nothing vicious there.
Yep, exactly.
Going to get a dose of Zerpel. No, he hands it off. Gain of about 6 or 7 for the Trojans.
Yeah, it looked like
I believe it was Bartman on the carry.
Yep. Bartman was on the carry there, and this is what we've seen a lot in this game where they switch out between Jost and Bartman, and now we're just kind of seeing Bartman stay out there.
2:55 on the clock. Second and about 3 for the Trojans. They're looking to the side, and they are going to bleed clock here.
And I do like this by Beresford with the no call on timeout because they picked up 7 yards. You feel like you might have wasted 1.
Zerpel claps the hands, keeps it himself. He's wrapped up by Aaron Larson. Knees initially go down. That is no gain on the play. Clock did stop. There was a quick whistle.
Ebert calls the timeout there.
Yeah, the whistle, I think, kind of fell out of the official's mouth, and we didn't get a full whistle, but there was enough and a wave of the arms. The clock operator was right on it. So 2:29 on the clock. Bring up 3rd and about 2. Maybe it's 3rd and 3, a short 3. Beresford with one timeout in the pocket here.
And if you have any friends or family back home that's not watching this game, I would tell them to get on Live Ticket TV right now and tune in. This is history. 35 years of not going to the Dakota Dome. Have an amazing chance. 3rd down and about 3.
Number 2 West Central, number 3 Beresford. It is the battle we thought it was going to be. 2 minutes and 29 seconds to see who's going to the Dakota Dome next Friday night.
And I believe to take on Del Rapids. I don't know if that game's gone final, but I believe it has.
Zerpel's going to keep it. Lead blockers. He's looking up the middle. Wrapped up. He's enough for a first down.
Yep.
Needed a short 3, and he got 3.5. 2:22 on the clock. They'll stop the clock here while they move the chains, and then they'll start the clock back up. One timeout for the Dogs. Clock is running, 2:16 and counting.
The Dogs still are in a situation, if you're not familiar with how the clock works, you do still have enough time to get the football back, but certainly now going to be very little time if that does happen.
Offense, again, just kind of casually standing here, looking to the sideline. Clock is ticking now at 1:55. Zerpel claps the hands, hands it off to Bartman. He's wrapped up by Tadlock. Guys kind of reaching for the ball.
Yep.
Ebert's out on the field calling timeout. Gain of, we'll call it 4. It's going to bring up 2nd and 6 for the Trojans. 1:42 on the clock. That is the final timeout for the Watchdogs.
If everything goes right with a punt in there, you're looking about 15 seconds or so for Beresford to have a chance. But even a 2nd down and 5, you really like where you're at with the Trojans. Picked up a nice 5 yards. But again, you have another, at least guaranteed about another 120, 125 seconds they're going to come off, or a minute 25, excuse me, are going to come off there. 125 seconds would be ball game.
All right, Trojans breaking out of their huddle. Watchdogs on the far side, still talking about it with defensive coordinator and head coach Scott Ebert. Zerpel with Bartman right next to him. Linebacker stepping down. That's Zerpel working off the right side. He's not going to get a first down. He's about a yard short of a first down. Maybe a half a yard short. 1:30 on the clock.
So this is where you kind of watch that. But 1:32 is when they indicate the play dead, so it's going to dip just under a minute if you work the clock correctly. Again, there is no play clock here at West Central, but you watch the back official. He will count down. He is keeping the time. He will hold up for 10 seconds, then start counting 5.
3rd and a half a yard. Jumbo package is in. They've got the big guys. Now they're going to shift. They're going to follow that right formation shift. It's coming off the right side. Zerpel cuts back. It's first down. That will be the ball game. Be West Central 24, Beresford 20, 52 seconds. They'll reset the first down clock. Or excuse me, they'll reset the chains. The clock will tick. Heath, I think we kind of all year kept looking ahead at the end of each game, win or loss, what's next week. And now our fate is sealed here in Beresford. Let's take a moment to look back.
I say, and I know from just myself, getting to follow along with the Watchdogs over the past couple of weeks, getting to talk to Coach Hebert, even getting to catch up with Arlen Lickness. We had a good 20-minute talk, reminiscing on old times. You look at these seniors, I don't really think in this very moment the impact of what this football team has meant to this school, to this community. This was a whole entire David versus Goliath. Not just this game. I'm talking about this season. You 34 guys, right? I know you know the number. Was it 1 or 2 guys puts you just above that threshold for Class 11A?
Yeah, we were just over. We were like the last one to kind of climb into 11A. And, 11B is a great class as well. I mean, the competition there is stout as well. But to come in and just, again, the rosters and the size of schools, again, I'm going to look backwards and just remember, this is going to be, in the history of Beresford, one of those special groups. We look back to what they did last year in a playoff run and a miraculous win over Mount Vernon Plankington, and then travel to Aberdeen Roncalli in an overtime, win against Roncalli, and falling just shy against Bridgewater Emery Ethan in the semifinal game last year. And now what they've done this year and the commitment they made to themselves and each other to come out of the regular season with losses to number 1 ranked Dell Rapids in 11A and a loss to the number 1 ranked Winter Warriors, and to put together a great stretch here in the playoffs, and unfortunately met an equally great team in the West Central Trojans tonight, and they fall 24-20 in this semifinal game. And again, we see the fives and the coaches and the hugs and the seniors pulling that hat off for the last time and walking to the far end zone.
This is special. This is something extremely special.
Yeah, and the coaches are waving them back in. I can see right down in the middle, Coach Lickness has left the booth next to us, and he's waving the guys. We've seen this at previous games, both teams coming together in midfield. Their opponents on the field. Now the game's over. They come together and celebrate for each other what they've done this year.
Yeah, they're going to be led in a small prayer here at the end, and this is what it's all about. 2 gladiators come together on the gridiron and battle it out to the final moment. I mean, that was what you wanted, was just a game that went down to the final seconds, and you got exactly that. And for one, it feels so sweet. You punch your ticket to the Dome. For the other, this is, you look back to when you were a senior and you played sports. This feels like the world is coming to an end for just a little bit of time. It feels like nothing's going to get better for life, but the sun is going to rise tomorrow. And you're going to come back to a town that's going to pat you on the back, that's going to have smiles for the rest of your school year. And anytime you ever go back to Beresford, once you move on to your next adventure in life, you're still going to be remembered as that special team that was on the football field back in 2022.
Yeah, I think an opportunity here for a lot of thank yous, and if I forget anybody, it's not intentional, but to thank the athletes for the work they put in the in and off season. Rosy workouts. I saw Kyle McKelvey here walking with the team, and what Rosy Workouts has done for our athletes in the off season and in season. The coaches and their families. The amount of time that they put into these kids and the program, and at the time they spend away from their families. We have coaches who aren't teachers or staff members, and they leave their work early every day, and what they give to the program. The bus drivers, chain gang that shows up, the administrative team that is there at the games, and the custodians that paint the field, and then now our production crew. So we've got, students and Renee and yourself helping us here in the booth, and our inaugural season here with Live Ticket. And Heath, I guess a thank you as we kind of wrap up, what this is. And it's been memorable. It's been really special. But it is the end of the 22 season.
Yeah, something very special. And I knew Beresford had something special when I got a text message from you right away, reaching out and saying, hey, just want to reach out. Let's get connected down the road. I think we can do some games together. And we kind of looked and saw each other's schedules that were remaining, and we thought this could come together in just the right way. So me being able to join you with the Live Ticket TV family, it's completely my pleasure to be a part of this journey, because I get it. I've been here for 2 games, but being entrenched in the town this past month as well, it feels like this hurts myself. I mean, I feel the sting as well a little bit because I wanted it so bad for those guys. They deserved it. Just so special, and thank you for everything.
Yeah, no, it's been great. It's been a lot of fun. I hate to see it end, but unfortunately, that is why they play the game. One team wins and moves on, and somebody's dreams are dashed, and these kids will go on to do some great things in life. I just know it.
And it's great to see. I know the camera's not pointing here at the moment, but the fence line is starting to just. It's covered right now in Watchdogs. Friends, families, girlfriends, if you will, over there, just all waiting for the team to come out over there. Very, very special, great group of that just all come together and, yeah, just all hugged. And like I said, I brought this up several times. We see West Central. It seems like they got a whole entire army out there. And right now, again, just 34 guys together right now, embraced in a hug. And this is what Scott's saying. He's just, guys, nothing to hang your hats on.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for sure. I mean, with just the amount of following we've had from alumni, and I'm getting texts from alumni in Yankton and Sioux Falls, and they're cheering on the Watchdogs, and they graduated 15 years ago. And I know that group from 1987 was cheering them on, and the group from 81 and 83 and on down the line. And, we talked about Cortland Carnes. He was here an hour before the game setting up a booth with his wife, Angie. Just great for the community. And, again, we're just really appreciative of what the coaching staff and the kids have done this year. But, Heath, any final words before we kind of sign this thing off?
The only thing I can say is get ready for a fun winter season, because what you see during the fall, especially this football team, has to translate to something, and that translates into wrestling. It translates into basketball. You see so often in smaller towns like this, these guys aren't just one athlete. That's all. I specialize in football. Like, nope, you specialize in multiple sports. I'm excited now for the football season. I think Beresford's going to be a very fun team to watch.
Yeah, we've got, some of these kids are going to be on the wrestling squad. Some of them are going to be on the basketball team. So we're going to see a little more action out of some of these young men yet. They've still got a little bit more of their senior season yet. And we'll be there cheering them on, and maybe we can work together again. Maybe the Tanagers and Watchdogs face each other. Maybe we can get something together again. But thank you, Heath. We'll sign off here from West Central High School, Jim Utek Stadium. Final, West Central 24, Beresford 20.